troubles in the room. We'd hit record and the vibes go warm. One says deep thoughts, the other says no. Now we're arguing if cats can and low. We spill the tea, we spill the wine. Have the stories it goes in half a mind. We laugh, we cry, we overshare too long. Podcast now every now, just double the crutch. Double Trouble Live, with twice the mess. Double Trouble Live, no stress, just yes. We got hot takes, bad breaks, and zero two. Double Trouble Live, coming at you for the thrill. Oh yeah, Double Trouble Live.
Down at Emerald Downs where the ponies love to run. Double Trouble Live just crashed a party for some fun. Frank and Ciaran on the mic yelling pick so bold. Pulling 12%, rolling pick 3. Watch the money roll. Stopping, dropping, rolling through the card. One bad leg and your whole ticket's gone. But the crew keeps laughing as the horses fly by. Cash it, baby, is their battle cry. Double Trouble Live at Emerald Downs. We're taking the dive. Rolling pick 3's gonna hit 'em just right. Double the trouble, double the delight. Get out, get up, get paid. It's the world. We're breaking trouble and say somebody is dead. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. DTL way with Frank and Ciaran. It's a hilarious day.
DTL Crew, rolling. Keep those pick threes rolling. Wow, we are back on a Sunday. I'm Frank Scattoni, joined by co-host and chief gambling officer, Ciaran Thornton. What is up, my man? We're at Emerald Downs today.
Yeah, check it out. See what it's like. 12%. I mean, it's not our high minimum bet, but it's a 12% takeout. So we gotta at least give these tracks, some support when they try the low takeout, so that they can go, hey, there's a business model here that makes us handle. So
back in the day when only human beings could bet, we propped up the business and kept it going pretty good until the robots came along, and then all of a sudden the humans were forgotten. But the humans are back. Ciaran mentioned 12% takeout, rolling pick 3s all day long at Emerald. We're going to start in race 5. We'll also take a look at Santa Anita. They're at race 6. We'll take a look at the late pick 3 and the late double as per usual. In the live chat, you will see our plays so you can follow along. But as most of the DTL crew know, we do a live wagering show because we like to use up-to-the-minute information in case we need to pivot. What we like this morning is not necessarily what we like this afternoon. Ciaran, I'm excited. We have a couple of special guests coming on the show today, so this is going to be an unusual show for us. And to your point, you mentioned this isn't the traditional pick 3s that we're used to with the $3 minimum and the 15% takeout. But I think with that low 12% takeout, we have to give it a shot and see what we've been missing and figure out a way to crack this code and support Emerald.
I checked out the pays yesterday. I mean, when it's chalky, it's very low, but it's 50 cents. But I mean, some of those later ones were, 40, 50, 60. And when I was putting my bets together today for here, Frank, I mean, I'm not an expert. We'll have a couple of the guys who are going to talk about it. But I was like, you know what? I feel comfortable, especially with the way we gambling, with multiple bets, doing about $30 on these pick 3s, because even if it chalks out, I'm going to have it a few times. And that's, of course, that's my rookie looking at the numbers type of thing. I might get absolutely humbled today and have, looked like crap, but that's the way I looked at it. I looked at some of the pays yesterday. I was like, this is how I'm going to approach it. I might change it after this first pick 3, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you put it up? But real quick, you never get humbled. You just get mad.
True.
You just get mad. You come back swinging, and then you take it out on me. But that's the beauty of the show. Yeah, why don't you put it up real quick? Again, isn't this so funny? Because back in the day, $2 rolling doubles and $1 rolling pick 3s. Those were my bread and butter bets. And then, of course, the $1 pick 4 that we bonded over a long, long time ago. I've gotten so far away from that model that I only got brought back onto the pick 3s is because of what we've been doing, at Santa Anita and Del Mar with the $3. Now going back to the 50 cent, I'm going like I forget. Like,
and back in the day,
kind of a mishmash of our new strategy and my old strategy, and I'm very curious to see if it works or doesn't today.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, all we had was the early double and the late double. Remember, on track, and then the pick 3 was the only other exotic we had. That was it back then.
So let's see right here. This is race 5, so it's 5, 6, and 7, 50 cent minimum. You don't have to tell us like who or why you like, but tell us more about the structure, because I see you're starting off with a $5 pick 3, and I have my late pick 3 is a $5 pick 3 as well. So
yeah, I mean, for this one, I was looking at it, and I thought the number 1 here, it's a debut horse, and when I was writing my notes, the trainer's 38%, he wins 40 with the jockey. Jockey's absolutely on fire the last 2 weeks. And then I said, use single on a ticket. And then, the dam is 3 from 4. But this is not like high level racing. So who knows what you're going to get with debut horses. But I thought it was enough to take a swing on a single ticket and press it a little bit more. So simple as that.
And then you came back with a backup ticket for less money with a couple of other contenders to maybe get out of this leg.
Correct.
If the firster doesn't fire. Let me put mine up real quick. So we went a little opposite. I singled the 3 here only for $2. I mean, I don't know. Like, this first ticket is more of how I play, the $3 minimum. So as you see, I'm a little spready. When I used to play the $1 pick 3s, I was never this spready. I'd be like 2 by 1 by 2. But I'm going to try it. Like I said, I'm going to use a little mishmash of our strategy, and then
that's what I was trying to do too. I mean, usually I'm just like you. I would have not done these kinds of tickets, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot on this one, and maybe I'll adjust for the next pick 3.
Yeah, and so like I came back the second one. I'm doing a $5 pick 3 with like my 3 top choices in each race, and then again, then less money with my Bs. So I'm spending like 25 here, 25 in the next, and then I'm going to step out a little bit in the late pick 3, because we'll have a little bit more information about how these are playing out and what we're doing. But, maybe we'll get a little bit of insight, because we do have a special guest. When Emerald, about a week before Emerald started, Nick Sievers, he's been with us from the jump, and we can't thank his contributions enough and all the things that Nick does on his own in the industry. He's just a terrific follow and produces some really good content. But he was like, hey, Friday nights at Emerald, 12% rolling pick 3s. And then the chat room blew up, and they're like, oh, don't tempt us with an Emerald show. That's too much fun, kind of thing. So we wanted to have Nick on because Nick has played Emerald. He knows Emerald. Ciaran, when we talk about SoCal racing, we talk about circuit knowledge, right? Things that you and I have learned over the years that you can't
be helpful.
PTs.
And sometimes we've missed, like when we went to Franklin, the first couple of shows, we weren't really familiar with some of these jockeys. And then we had people come on and they were like, oh, when this guy hops on for this dude, watch out.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we
came
do
on.
at Santa Anita. Yeah.
Remember Steve-O came on and he was like, no, this apprentice is really, really good. Because we both got suckered. The trainer had 2 horses in the race. One had the apprentice up and one had a journeyman up. We got suckered by the journeyman, and Steve-O was like, no, this guy's good. But anyway, welcome, Nick. We're bringing you in the studio. Nick Sievers, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, my man?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Before we get we want to pick your brain a little bit about some general knowledge about Emerald, because Ciaran and I are kind of flying blind. Yeah, we have our foundational handicapping and whatnot, but we don't know the circuit at all. But before we do that, tell everyone where they can find you on X, what you're up to, and the kind of content that you are producing that I think is just unique and fun, and looking at racing in a different way than the traditional shows that we see ad nauseum.
Yeah. So I do it with Emily Gullickson, the greatest handicapper alive. It's required for me to say that. Like, I can't talk to Ciaran here, and when I say her name, I can't say her God-given name, because my kids know her as Emily M. Gullickson. She's won some money here or there for us.
I don't think anybody works harder than Emily either. So
that is absolutely true.
The brilliance of her handicapping combined with the tireless work, and it makes for winning combination.
Absolutely.
All right, Frank, we're going to go to the comments now.
Did you start the countdown? Here's the egg timer. All right. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Fun, guys. I thought I'd get that in there, but let's get you thrown Emily a little bit. Everybody's happy with that. So we're doing like random shows here or there this week. Tomorrow we're going to do a live draw of the Belmont Stakes, because Emily never looks at NYRA. It's one of her. She works for optics, and John does NYRA, and she doesn't look at NYRA. So I made her do it because it's fun. And then
get out
Thursday.
Of that comfort zone.
Yep. And then Thursday, we're going to do a live show with just Hawthorne. And we're going to have the Hawthorne feed up, and we get to show it on YouTube because we get to.
What is the show called?
One Time.
One Time?
One Time. So, yeah, you can
find
follow
it
me
on
or
YouTube. And then
yep,
what's your
YouTube,
handle on X?
YouTube, X, and Patreon.
You didn't need to name it after you just coming on here one time, and that's it. So
one time.
You named your show.
This is his second time, actually.
Yeah, it was one time before. Now we got to change the name.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So we actually
it was one time, and Ciaran said never again. He's like,
true.
That's it. We're never having any guests ever again. That's it.
I was headed to the NHC, and we were talking, and we both knew that Inside the Pylon was there. And so we said that we would both use our one time for life if we can get him to win. We both used it. He got to the final table. It was worth it. It could have been so much closer, but it was fun. So
well, I mean, it's also, ITP is just really, really smart and good for the game. But great story with Dylan Donnelly taking it down too, right? We can't be mad about that. We love Dylan.
No,
and
that's not. Dylan's fine.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
But look, we're gonna put you to work, man.
We've got 10 minutes. I'm just throwing it out there so we don't get.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna put Nick to work.
Yeah. So Emerald has been playing off pace yesterday, and then I turned it on today. I've watched all the replays, and it's been favorites and speed. So. Right. I look mainly at. I don't do a lot of the trainer stuff. I don't look at a lot of trainer stats like Ciaran does. So I don't have a lot of help there, other than what's his name? The guy that used to be at Granite or Golden Gate Fields, Blaine Wright. Blaine Wright is he wins everything, and it's very low level racing, right? So you're getting $3,000 claimers, you're getting $2,500 claimers. So when you get that kind of thing, one, the good trainers win. They also don't mind losing their horses. Not a lot of claiming goes on because nobody's going to be spending $5,000 for some of these horses,
right?
But more or less, if you can beat the favorites, you get paid pretty well. And those night races.
I was just looking, like that first pick 3 today. You had a 5-2 over an even money, over an even money, and the pick 3 paid $16 for 50 cents.
Yep.
And then the next one just paid $6.60, but I mean, you had 2 even monies, and that's, I mean, for 50 cents, not bad. The takeout is a big difference there.
Boy, because you get
12% makes so much of a difference. Ciaran, we see it with the 15%. At Santa Anita, even though the double might chalk out, it still pays more than the parlay because of that 15%. I mean, it's just incredible. So let me ask you this. Because you've heard me give Ciaran a lot of credit for this. One of the things that he's very good at is isolating races that produce chaos and focusing on races that are a little bit more formful. With these low-level horses, on the big circuits, we see them go in and out of form quite frequently.
Yep.
Do they stay in form longer here? Any advice in that regard?
If they do, they run back quickly, right? So I think in this race there was one that was running back on 2 or 3 of them. 2 of them are running back on 14-day rest. The 3 and the 4 both coming back off, and the 5 all coming back off a 2 weeks rest. I think out of the same race, maybe.
Yeah, they're all that 25 level.
So and they're all dropping out. And they're all dropping now to that $10,000 level. So like in this race here, all three of those seem to make some sense. I landed on the 5 just because of the price. I couldn't get to the 1 or the 2 because they're first time starters, and that's just not something that I'm going to have a whole lot of
I'm not good
opinion
with
on.
that either.
I don't
Well,
get.
actually, I'm going to pivot
Buffalo
already
Joe.
once we're done. I'm ready to pivot.
Yeah.
He's already like, Emerald, here you go,
Well,
Emerald.
Well, the only
Same-
reason,
same
I mean,
kind of
we
good
may as well
basket.
use our same stuff. And I was just looking at the double. And right
Mhm.
now, the double into this race, guys, the favor on the double is this 2 at 568. And the second choice is
This
the
is the Will
3 at
Pays?
6. And then the pick 3, the 3 is 989. The 1 is 1457. That's the one that I had a single on a ticket. But again, the 2, I mean, we're probably not talking a whole lot of money. I mean, I might be just laughing, and it's like $100 bet swayed
Right.
these.
But it is
payouts.
a first time starter, so
But
that
I
is
mean,
interesting.
when I did my notes for this, when it was the one I kicked out, I just said debut horse, the jockey's cold. And what are your notes on this? I mean, the reason I tossed it was I thought this jockey's not, but maybe you're telling me this could be the jockey that owns this place.
Yeah, the jockey is the 3 has the best
Kevin
jockey.
Krieger's. I
Yeah,
like
he's one
Kevin.
of the big ones. And there was one other who normally rides for Blaine Wright, who's good. I don't see him in this race, and I can't remember his
Well,
name.
there
off
were a
the top
bunch of
my head.
Northern California guys too. I know
Yep.
it's Frank Alvarado's here.
Yep.
Amador,
Yeah.
who used to ride in SoCal. There were some familiar faces that I was a little surprised to see, but in a good way.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought the 3 was kind of a standout because I have the 3 singled on most of my tickets. Major drop in class. We see Tim McCanna. Look at this guy. He can't win. He can't win in Santa Anita right now, but he's
Nope.
5 for 10
Up
at
there.
Emerald.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's
Well,
one of those old school guys who I think he used to be a regular on that circuit for a while. Then was in Golden Gate and then Santa Anita. But so I see a guy like McKenna or Blaine
Mhm.
Wright or I think even like Tamayo has a horse.
Yep.
Golden Gate guy, SoCal guy. So I'm going to give those guys a little bit of extra credit just because I know they can win in Southern California. So I'm going to have to assume they can win at Emerald, but maybe that's the wrong assumption.
Nope, it's a pretty good assumption. I mean, they do a pretty good job winning. Lots of Turf Paradise shippers as well, and that
I
was
noticed that.
a lot. There was a time in the first week or so where you wanted just the Turf Paradise shippers because they had been racing. Now we're a month in, and
So
these horses
recency
now
was important.
big time, and now
Okay.
not so much. And they are starting to do more of the mile races because that first couple weeks it was just the 5.5 because they just opened, and so they didn't have a lot that went far.
How does Turf Paradise turf form transfer here? Because obviously there's no turf racing in Emerald; it's all dirt. I seem to think when it's low level horses, I would give a turf horse an advantage. It's not like the horse probably can't run on dirt, but they're just the recency and the conditioning that helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I think also a lot of those turf horses end up in Canterbury. That seems to be the 2 places that the Turf Paradise horses go, as they go from Turf Paradise over to Canterbury because they have a good lawn or good turf course.
Turf
and
course there, yeah.
Then you'll see some of them over at Los Al, which I know Ciaran also doesn't like, which maybe why I like Los
he
Al
likes it
even
when he's
more.
hanging out with Radar Rob and they can put together that early pick 4, that $1 pick 4. That's a good
the best.
But Rob
Yeah.
wins 99.9%. He's like the king of Los Al,
Except when you
I
play.
buy into one of his tickets. And then we lose a photo.
On
and
the
we have
first leg with a 3 to 5 shot.
a long shot. And
Yep.
like Flightline runs second or some nonsense like that. So.
Yeah, they have all 2-year-old trials today. So if you're in for a headache and want to just bang your head up against the wall, that Los Al has a pick 6 carryover, and they're all 2-year-olds going 300 yards. And you might as well just roll some dice and just pick one. Like
Well,
that works as well as anything else.
in the next leg, the 3-5 is the favorite double combo. I mean, we're talking $1 here. The 3 to the 5 is $8. 3 to the 1 is 11. 3 to the 8 is 14.
Who's your top pick in the next race, Ciaran? I'm a little spready there.
My top pick in race 6, I went 1, 5, 8, and then 6, 7. The top jockeys on the 1 lost by a neck last out in September. But
So the
one
is your
was
top
a
pick in the
PQ,
next
and I
leg?
said if I was forced to single, it'd be the one I singled. But I did spread around.
The one thing I tell you is there's only $1,300 in that double pool currently, and I went back and looked, and most of those doubles
Oh, that's
end up
what
at
I
about
mean.
yeah, they end up at about 4,000. So there are CAWs are all over that double pool. So I don't trust it too much until it's final, in which case it is
Okay.
no good.
Well, and also we've noticed with Will Pays, and I think you pointed this out on early on when we were
Yep.
doing this, when we are trying to sniff out where the robot money was.
Yep.
And Ciaran, you'll agree with me because we talk about this all the time. We always compare the double Will Pays and the pick 3 Will Pays,
Yeah.
and they're not always the same. We see a lot of discrepancies.
Yep.
We seem to think, and I think Nick, you'll agree with this. The smarter, well, not the smarter money, but the robot money is
Yep.
buried in the pick 3.
The
So
more
that's a little
efficient
more
money,
indicative
yeah.
of what the win pool is going to look like than the double.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the pick 3, that's why I ended up having to do that extra bet I did, because on the pick 3, that 2 did get some play. Like it's
Mhm.
For
989
the first
for the
time
3.
starter, yeah.
Yeah, 1457 and 1532. So it was enough, and then the 5 is at like 19. So I mean, again, we're not talking gigantic money or anything, but still.
But it moves the market. I mean, those two, the 1 and the 2, were the second and third choice on the morning line. So somebody knew something with those horses. So
Yeah.
they
So
hard to.
I know you said you didn't have a strong opinion, and you have a long shot maybe in race 6, but if you had to single one horse to start a pick 3, we
I
won't
was on the
hold you
5.
to it, but I'm just curious if you.
I was on the
if you had a
5
flag.
here. Yeah, I was on the 5 mainly for the price,
Okay.
not thinking that it has the best chance. It has a lot of form, not a lot of good form, but it has a lot of races. And when you get horses here, sometimes
I actually threw that one on because I won't mention where their number is, but it was like a top power rating, and I was like, really? And I didn't see it. But there's been a lot of times where when I've ignored that when I didn't see it,
Yep.
the horses outperform. So it's one of those things I've learned from doing the show.
Yep.
Don't do my nope thing like I would and automatically
exactly.
move
And it has, I mean, it also has the late pace flag on time form, which normally doesn't mean anything except for the fact that it's also in the lead on time form. So if you look at time form, it's saying it's going to be in front and win easily. But I don't think that's true. But that was enough for me to use on a 50-cent ticket where a single.
Optics has it as a circle in Q1 along with the 7, and then it has the 3 as a square in Q1. So that's why I really love the 3.
Yep.
In addition to traditional handicapping. But in order, if you look here, I'm singled on the 3 to start on 2, but then I have the 5 and the 8. So the 5 is my second choice in the race. I'm not going to use any of the firsters. If they beat me, they beat me. It's not my game. But are they at the gate here? No, they're doing a little bit 5 shuffle.
They have the old Gulfstream Park drag here.
Well, they probably have to get the grandparents off the track, so that's probably
we missed it. Oh, the grandparent racing. So just real quick though, in the next leg, Ciaran was about the 1. I'm 8-4-6. I am spready there, but my top pick is the 8 in race 6. Ciaran, did you have anything on that 8?
And the Will Pays, the 5 is the favorite, the 1 is the second favorite, the 8 is third choice, and then it starts going up there. But what I wrote for that 8 was
you talking about Bourbon Dancer?
Frank will pick because it's bourbon. No. I just said.
I did not even consider that. I actually picked because it's Dancer.
I just said it's got the top power rating used. I liked others more, but I mean, I put it on, third position. I did like the 6 in there. I think you said that was your price horse, Nick.
Yeah. Yep. Talk to us about that, guy.
The trainer's 30%. He's 30% with the jockey. The only reason I didn't make that horse top is when this trainer routes, at least to the stats, he's 3%. So,
All right, so they're loading, guys. We're going to step back and watch. Although Nick mentioned that they do broadcast this on YouTube, so
they do.
If we figure it out, we may be able to watch these races too.
If you want, I can throw it up for you.
Huh?
I think we have. I'll figure it out for the next race, and we'll throw it up.
Yeah, let's do that because then we're going to have to hop right to Santa Anita when this is over.
All right.
Good luck, everybody. Nick, we'll bring you back on after the race.
Okay.
Shout out DTL Crew. We'll get to the comments as soon as we can. We are not ignoring you. We just have one race on top of another. Nick, we're going to let you sit this one out while we talk about Santa Anita because we got the late pick 3 coming up. And soon as we get through that, we'll bring you back on for race 6 at Emerald.
And not enough time to pivot. My big key horse scratched. I just noticed.
In which race? At Santa?
Race 7 at Santa Anita. I was all about number 7, Petite Treat. So,
oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Well, I said I thought Leonard Powell was going to have a big day, and you're not allowed to play the Frasier song ever again on the show. He gave in race 5, he gave the Leonard Powell horse one of the worst rides I've ever seen all meet, and got beat by Quantum Energy, who never wins. So I am alive in my all turf, but only on my backup ticket, and I'm single too. So who's your top pick?
My top pick in the all turf. Boy, we can go back to that later. In here, it was the 7 that scratched, but my ticket. I mean, I essentially went all in this leg on one ticket, 5-10. Stronghold and Maximum in the last, and then I got 2 backup tickets. It was 7-4-5 on both of them. I guess I'm just going to be 4-5. I'm not going to change it. Okay. Singling 5 with spread in the last, and then spread in the next, because as we saw yesterday, anything can happen in these 4-horse races. And Frank, if we
your
had
favorite
done a
trainer, Aggie Ordonez,
if we had done a show yesterday, Frank, we 110% would have had Almond Joy. I'm telling you,
you would have. I love Aggie, but I would not have used that horse, Ciaran. I didn't. I saw no world in which the McCarthy or the Baffert.
I saw no world either, but I would have looked at the pays and went the amount of time.
You would have.
One of these late stakes races, in the double has brought like chaos and paid really good money, because of it. I was kind of mad at myself because when I was putting my tickets in, I was like, well, I put my regular ticket in, but then I was hovering over the button. I was like, well, it's only $12 bucks more.
I'm surprised you didn't do it. No, really. When that horse won, my first thought was like, oh my God, I'm so happy for Aggie. We love her on the show. She's made us a lot of money, and she's just a wonderful woman and a wonderful horse woman and trainer. And then my second thought was, if we were doing the show, Ciaran would have pivoted 100% and used that horse. I know you would have. But I don't think I would have.
Here's my ticket here. I mean, now the other 2 legs are just going to be with the 4 and the 5. One of them singling the 5, and then some spread in the last race, and then spread in the middle and on that 10 in the last.
Who was your top pick in the last race?
That 10. I mean, even with the bad post, it's hard to make
there were a couple of scratches, so that horse comes in a little bit too. So
it's
not as bad anymore.
Maximum or what? I butchered the name. I mean, I just thought. I mean, the one negative is Ayusu for Urton, or they've only won 2 of the last 23. But I mean, the horse lost by a head last out. Ayusu's they're cutting back. The distance looks ideal. But I did like the 9 in there, Frank. And I think when we kind of talked a little bit yesterday, that Mullins horse, Husuck.
Yeah, I like that horse a bit too. Yeah.
Frey is ice cold, 0-for-14, but Mullins has been his guy, which is crazy. They're winning 44%.
I know. I was shocked by that.
and the thing is, though, I was at first, and then I was like, wait, Mullins is putting him on his live long shots. Like they've got a big ROI. First race since November, and I was like, I've seen worse long shots, and if that 10 doesn't win in that race,
it's anybody. Yeah, they're in the gate, Ciaran. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but they're about to go off. Right. Yeah, but I'm with you. That's a very live long shot, I believe.
All right, we'll be right back.
Good luck. Leonard Powell should have had 2 winners today.
That was my long shot coming late on. I actually started writing his name again in my write-ups, Frank. I'm going to go back to
I told you Imperfection was not going to win.
But
You had him when he was supposed to win.
Nice late turn of foot. Barrios had him in the wrong spot.
No, he flattened out. He made a tiny little bit of a move, but he was never going to win. Never going to win. Me So Fancy dominated. You're going to have to make a song for Ayuso. I think he's leading rider right now.
Is he?
Yeah, I think him and Freysu. That was my strong play. I'm so frustrated because, I had that horse singled with the other Powell on a bunch of my all turfs. But anyway, here's my late pick 3. Single spread for $6. Single. Then a little backup ticket. Then again, single to 5. I got the 5, 6 ways to Sunday.
Yeah, I was just checking the jockey standings. It looks like as of yesterday, Frank, I didn't look today. I used to win first with 21. Well, 22 now. Freshy was 20. Juan was 20. Jaramillo 17. But Jaramillo is just O'Neill has gone ice cold.
Well, yeah, but how many does Rosario have? He might be able to catch them all.
Get this. Rosario's at 13 with 55
already
mounts.
He might win.
And he is a third. He's like 40% of the other jockeys, Frank. If he was like just tripping out like the other guys, he'd be ahead by like 5 or 6.
It's amazing.
We did say.
Funny. And I remember Nick a couple of weeks ago said that this colony wasn't that strong, and we defended the colony and said that it was strongest in a long time. And then you get Rosario comes out here, and when Rosario is Rosario, he's like a zillion times better than anybody else here. So to Nick's point, when we bring him back on, we'll address that. But and we talked about this too, Ciaran. Remember Sadler was ice cold.
Oh yeah,
and
now
then
he's starting to
it was Rosario out.
It
wasn't his fault. It was he didn't have the right jockey.
Correct. And then I wasn't too happy with, when we were doing shows and when I was gambling, on the East Coast tracks. Rosario was not, I think this was like a mental reset for him as well. Come out here, help your guys out here. You'll be out for the biggest meet, you'll be out here for Del Mar, and then he'll probably head off back east again. So I think he's making the most of it.
Yeah. If horse racing was on prediction markets and there was a market for a leading rider at Del Mar, I'd go double fisted on Rosario. Because look, we see this with every jockey at some point in their career. It is hard to be at that elite level for so long. Mm-hmm. It is hard work, and they all go through lulls and slumps. And sometimes, you're exhausted, your head's not in the game. These guys don't get a day off. You know what I mean? Like it's brutal. So we talked about this, Ciaran. We knew that he wasn't just going to come out here to be average.
No, when I was at the Folds of Honor the other day, I was talking with JJ, and we were trying to set up some golf, when he comes down from Del Mar. And then I found out he's not going to be here closing weekend. He's off to Royal Ascot this year. So,
what?
Yeah.
JJ?
Yeah, JJ's off to Royal Ascot. So.
To ride who?
I can't remember now, but he was heading out there, and I was telling him, oh my God, favorite track. I've not gone yet. I've tried to go with a horse, and we keep not racing the horses there. But yeah, he's off to, it's probably some Baffert horse, I'm assuming. But he's off to Royal Ascot. He won't be there
on turf.
I don't know.
Baffert's not going to send anyone there on turf. Maybe Nick will know. Here, let's bring Nick back in real quick, and then I'm going to use you as much as we can before Ciaran decides that you're getting the gong.
He had that horse that he took on Derby weekend to the American that they were saying was going to Royal Ascot after that. He ran like 5th or something in the American. But
who's the trainer?
Who's the trainer? Oh, it is a Baffert. Okay.
Yeah, the Baffert that went to Derby Day to the American and was going to Royal Ascot. Yeah, that's what I've heard. And here JJ's going, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't think that the colony is bad. I think the colony is fine. It's when you look at, the Pratts and the Ortiz brothers in that group, and then you look at not that group, it becomes much weaker, right? I mean, I don't think
compared
that's
to
an
New
argument.
York, it's, but
Yeah, but they aren't in New
it's
York
better
either,
than
right?
it's been in a very long time. I
Right.
think that was the point we were trying to make.
Absolutely. And that I
Right.
agree with. I think also that when Rosario comes out here and just wins like this, kind of makes you think, is it that good? Because Rosario's getting his ass kicked everywhere else he goes, so he has to leave him over here.
But it's also he's going. I mean, Miller was on a Miller horse, and Sadler Haran, like his. Yep. They're like, we need someone who's going to knows our program, knows everything. Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Right.
But I mean, he's written for them for years.
Yeah, so. I mean, Rosario is still a great writer. It's just I have a friend, Mike Somich, who says, he says all the time, it's a bell curve, right? You get the good Rosario, you get the bad Rosario. You don't ever get the middle Rosario, right? You get one or the other. The middle is just, you never get it. You get a horrible rider, you get a great ride, and you've seen that. But I agree
we got 8 minutes to Emerald, just to throw.
Oh, already? All right, let's go to Emerald race 6.
They make sure to stay off of Santa Anita. They do that very well.
So this is the race where you guys both liked a long shot. Is that horse still a long shot here? Who was the horse you guys were talking about?
I'm on the 6 Supermax.
Yeah.
Ooh, 14-1. Ciaran, win bet. Let's look at the will pays. See who's taking money in the double.
Yeah, the double right now.
Maybe
the number 1 is the favorite at 11 set 57, and then the 5.
Oh, look at the pick 3 though.
Yeah.
1 is a massive favorite in the pick 3.
I don't get that at all.
I think I had that as a B. That's Ciaran's top pick, though.
That was my top pick in here, yeah.
Yeah, I think you singled that horse on some tickets, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was a top jockeys riding, lost by a neck in September, but won,
That's
lost.
Like my 5th choice.
But, yeah. I mean, what else do I have here?
Are coming back. I mean, they are coming back at the same level. I guess I should realize it's a $3,500 claimer. It's not
and they're not risking it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming back in the spot where the horse was.
Yeah.
And
the horse is a waiver claim, right?
I don't know what to make.
One.
I don't know what to make of the workouts, but there's some bullet workouts as well for the horse. I mean, we're talking.
Well, here's why I ultimately made this horse. I made this horse a B because the horse is coming back as a waiver claim, right? And more often than not, that means they want to get a race in the horse before they run the horse for a tag and lose them and win. And you're going from a 15% trainer to and I looked up the stats. This guy's only had 4 starts. I don't know who he is. Granted, 2 of them ran second, but he's a relatively new trainer. I don't know if he can get a horse ready off a layoff. You know what I mean? So
looks like they own the horse also.
Yeah.
He owns the horse, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, that pick 3 money is massive. $9.49. The next lowest is my top pick, the 8, $21, and then the 5, $23. So I'm going to list mine in order of preference, Ciaran, and then I'll ask you to do the same. 8, 4, 6 are my A's, but a strong push to the 8, and then 5, 1, 7, 3 are my B's. So I like the 1/5. What's your order?
Hang on.
Have you been to Emerald there, Nick?
Yeah, it's probably the best track in the world. RIP Golden Gate Fields, which was the best track in the world. It basically feels like you're at Golden Gate Fields.
I had a mute. I had the sound on. Start over.
Yeah, it's basically the best track in the world. It's like the cutest, nicest, well-built track, and it's small. I went there for a weekend. My wife took me for our Emerald wedding anniversary, which is 15 years.
Nice.
I think. And so we went Friday night. It was packed. There was 7,000-8,000 people there. Nice small little track.
It looks like they do a lot of fun stuff.
Yep. When we were there, they had the you hold the beer stein out challenge, and that was fun to watch. Yeah, that looked hard.
Did you win?
I did not participate. I just drank beer because why do I need to hold beer when I can actually just drink the beer? I can go buy one.
Yeah, Ciaran would last 1 second because you'd be like, okay, take a big sip.
But yeah, it's a great little track, not far out of Seattle, like 20, 30 minutes out of Seattle. If you ever go, I highly recommend. Seattle doesn't rain during the winter or during the summer, as it turns out. So
my prices are wrong on the banner I put up there because I think it's a $1 pick 3. I'm not spending $75 on a pick 3. I'm not that.
Yes, you are.
I've not hit the
Kieran
sauce yet.
doesn't cancel, so yes, he
Maybe
is.
the next one I might.
And then when you get to see the mountain, right? I mean,
Yep,
it's got
and
to
the mountain's out today.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if it doesn't rain in the summer, why do they not have a turf course? Is it just so difficult to maintain in the winter
I
because of all the
assume
rain?
so. I don't know. I mean, basically, they took over for Long Acres. The Indian tribe up there owns it, so they have their casino, and I think there is some requirement to race. They don't do a lot of purse money.
Oh, so they're
for it,
also
so-
casino.
Yeah,
I don't know if
got
that's. I know they own it. I don't know if they're required to run it. That's one of those things
Okay.
I don't know enough about.
sounds a lot like
Larmy probably
Gulfstream. Why
knows.
they're trying to get themselves out? They have to run
Yeah.
the racing, not.
But I don't think they have to. That's the difference. I don't think they're required to. Larmy would know the answer to that question.
Yeah,
right on.
we'll
He
ask
lives
Chris
up
about
there.
that stuff.
But yeah,
So-
they bought into it because they like it, and so I know that there is some push for that. I don't know about the turf course. They've never had it. I mean, the same thing when Long Acres was around. I don't believe Long Acres had a turf course either.
I don't think so either. But here, I will say this, and major props to Emerald Downs, Ciaran, because we've done many tracks on the show. We've been paid by tracks to do the show. We have been on official track platforms and social media. Emerald Downs is the only track who actually liked and retweeted the link to our show.
You're
How about
joking.
that?
Wow. Who did you bribe for that?
You just tag them. Some kid runs it. I'm sure.
No, we're trying to be.
No, I've been in touch with is a man named Gary who responded to me, and I think it might be Gary Doherty. I'm not quite sure. And if it is, I know Gary from when I was editor of Horse Player magazine. But anyway, I have the number of Gary at Emerald Downs. We're going to talk this week. But I've noticed that their social media has been so much more active.
Yep.
And I gave him a compliment, and I was like, I'm seeing you guys everywhere, and you're doing fun stuff. You're doing good stuff. And if we can get this 12% on the radar, and then maybe if they add a couple of other things, like how great would it be a $1 late pick for 15% at Emerald?
Yep. They would
Ciaran,
get
we'd be
action.
all over that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's what this track needs is a $3 pick 3 that runs all day, right? Don't do just the late. Do it the entire day. You're doing 12% anyways. You have no CAW money in that pool or very little. Let us play it, right? Like not hurting you anything. You aren't going to lose money on it all. The pool.
And I love the time of day because they run their last races after Santa Anita is over.
Yep.
So now they are the get out, get up, get paid track.
I mean, they can do it because these were our latest stats from the DTL crew for Santa. These are the Santa Anita stats so far. The only pool that has grown there.
Yep.
1.6 million at the Hollywood meet. And it's when we do a show. 88% of it, Frank, or 89% when we do a show. Yeah.
Yeah, they
but,
retweets, no nothing. No,
but here's the thing, like
not even a hot dog.
That's going to happen at all the big tracks, right? Because whatever, I would love nothing more than to have a regular show Friday nights at Emerald or late Saturday, whatever it is, because these the smaller tracks are the backbone, right? And if anyone could do something that is aggressively player friendly, it's the smaller tracks, like 12%. Mm-hmm. Is there another track that has a 12% takeout in anything?
Indiana.
I'll have to ask Chris that.
Indiana does 11.99 for their pick 5.
Oh,
the pick 5 though, I mean, we would do it. It's just the being on for that many hours, even though
sometimes it's Indiana. They're going to be off the turf, and they're going to cancel.
They're going to be off the turf, and the other thing is they're casino funded, so they don't really care about handle.
Yep, and that casino is getting bought by somebody who really doesn't care.
Really doesn't care, exactly. So they might not even be around in a couple of years. So, so we got to, Terry posted. We will get to everyone in the chat room because we're going from Emerald to Santa to Emerald. We don't have time right now, but believe me, we will. We welcome the DTL crew. Anyone who is listening or watching for the first time, please like and subscribe. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk a little bit more about our branding and our mission because I came up with a very, very good catchphrase. DTL. We are not just a show. We are a movement. We are a movement to bring horse players back into the fold. So thank you, everyone. Ciaran, are you going to do any pivoting here? You're going to use
the one thing I would tell you. The one thing I tell you is on race 8. That 4 is
hold on, Ciaran, real quick, Nick. Ciaran, go ahead.
No, I've got like 5 horses and some
Okay.
variation of the other.
So you're happy with your position?
Yes.
Any win bets to do? Your 6 is 16-1, guys.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'm going to do a
All
win
right.
bet
And
on
Nick,
that.
what were you going to say?
That in race 8, that 4 is running for the 4th time at Emerald Downs this year, coming back on an 8-day rest, a 15-day rest, and a 6-day rest. I don't
Which
know.
race?
Race 8, the number 4 Great Runner, who's 7-5, and I know
Okay.
it just hasn't won yet, and they're stepping up and keeping it protected. That's one that I'm just against.
Oh, really? I have that horse as a single on some of my tickets.
And I mean, and it makes sense but I was looking at that. It's like, why are they bringing this horse back every week? Like, it's not a harness horse.
This is a horse.
Like,
it's called horse racing.
Well, I will
Everybody's
say-
horses.
but the 4th time in a month? Like, come on.
Trainers-
Go 2
The
weeks.
trainer's 36% for a profit when he does this, and it's
Yeah.
not risk for a claim. I did say, how
Wait,
did
what do
his
you
number
have?
4 do in the next race, the race prior? Race 6.
What
he's
is,
got
what
a-
is your ranking in race 8, Ciaran?
race 8? I've got it 5, 4, 2, 6.
Okay, and I have it 4, 3. 4 is my only A, and then I have 3, 5, 6. But here's the thing, Nick. I mean, you may be right, but I love
They're loaded.
I love to see it. You run
No,
horses.
absolutely. You love
they're
it. But
happy
doesn't
and
mean that
healthy?
I got to bet on it.
They're
All right.
loading, but if they're happy and healthy,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you run them? All right, we'll be back, guys, and then we'll get to some comments after. Well, it's fitting. Luck of the Irish, Emerald Downs, green. Great pick by Ciaran. He was very convinced that that one was a single. My top pick, Bourbon Dancer, ran a heck of a race, but not quite good enough for your horse, Ciaran. Well done.
I mean, I thought it and the 5 were gonna, inhale the 1 late.
So
and then
did
the
I.
jockey just and then the jockey went, nope, see ya.
Well, I thought it would have been speed all day, except one race. There was a horse that, did make that little bit of an outside move. But I don't even know if you could call that speed favoring. I think the jock did a phenomenal job.
No,
He opened up at the exact moment when you're supposed to open up.
Yep.
And then they had to come chase him in the stretch. And
I mean, we've talked about that too. We've like Jaramillo does it when he's got a good horse. he doesn't let them get a chance, where they
So-
could get a little bit of confidence. If he hadn't have shook the reins on the 1, the 8 might have gone, you know what? Maybe I'll get a little extra pep in my step.
A lot of
Sometimes that
jockeys
little
will
bit of
wait for the horse to get
separation.
close and then go.
Yeah. You want to make
Krieger
the horse
was like,
lose all.
I'm just going to rip it open and then
Yeah.
have him come get. And that's why
Yeah,
the guy's 28%.
You do
Top
not
dog.
want horse, even the worst horse will have its day, and you don't want to give them a chance to get that little pep in their step, and they
Especially
might
at the low
collapse
level.
after the race. But
So no, great. That's a great pick by you, and the money was right. Congrats to, and I apologize. I know I'm butchering this name, but Chiang Kum Han, who I think maybe has his first career win, because I did a formulator, and I think it was only four careers, three horses, 4 starts. Now gets a winner, owns a horse. Real quick, Kevin Krieger, Del Mar, about 10 years ago. Talk about when the jockey colony was not that great, where it was filled with a bunch of exercise riders.
Yep.
He was down there and he was doing well, and I've always liked him. And Felix Taverna of Racing Sports Radio hangs out at the corner all the time. He's friends with a lot of the jockeys and stuff. He was talking to Kevin Krieger, and he introduced me, and we shake hands. This man, most jockeys have strong hands because they use all the muscles. This dude almost crushed every freaking bone in my hand.
And you know who that reminds me of? Edwin Maldonado as well. Will crush your hand, because after the jockey karaoke, I was like, dude, you are one of the best gate jockeys I've ever seen. And he's like, well, this is what I do. And then he grabs my arm, and I'm like, oh my God, let go.
Seriously, and then you look at their hands, and they there's muscles popping out that I didn't even know existed. But I'm telling you, and I've shaken other jockeys' hands before, and they're always firm and really strong. But Kevin Krieger had the freaking strongest handshake of anyone I've ever met in my life. But good for him, good for the trainer. I'm out of my race 5 pick 3, but I'm alive on my backup ticket in race in starting here. You were out of 5? Like, here, let me put you up.
I'm alive.
Are you alive? You are.
I'm
All
alive.
right, we'll put yours up so we can see who you need here. And Nick, we'll bring you back in a minute.
I need number 3 in race 7.
You're singled. Oh, and that's Rob's horse.
I'm single to what's his name? Who's probably gonna show up here. He said he'd log in after the race, so he's got
phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Yeah, we'll show it. I mean, I don't want to be preemptive here, but I'll show the video anyway. Here we go.
Radar Rob incoming.
He's got a horse in the next race, so I was like, we absolutely have to have him on. And I actually love this horse.
I was gonna say, what are your notes on the horse?
And Rob, if he does make it on, is probably going to say, this is the horse that looks like Flightline in the mornings and smokes and drinks beers in the afternoon when the races are going on. But I mean, I think when I message him,
just like you wake up fresh as a daisy and you're great. And by the time we get to race 8, you're smoking and drinking beers.
Yeah, I'm going to see what he said yesterday. Hang on.
And then before we get him on, I'll roll through some comments. 4 minutes to Santa. Do we want to do a double here? No.
I already had some doubles going live. Let me just plop mine up there. If I didn't put them, then I can't remember.
I'm fine with my pick 3s.
I think let me see.
We're here to do Emerald. I want to give Emerald all my attention and all my love.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. I already threw one up here. It was kind of caveman-y, Stronghold with 10, 75 bucks. I should probably see what it's paying.
We should look at the probables. I'll do that while you talk about it. I'll look at the probables for you.
Yeah, I spread a little bit. I mean, how do you not? But then how do you do with the way some
here on 510 is paying $18 for $5?
Really? That's actually, I would have thought it would have been a lot lower. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, 3 to 5. I mean, what price do you think Maximon's going to be? Let me look on optics. Maximon's got to be like 6 to 5, right?
I thought the morning line was really good on it. What's the 5 to the 9 paying and the 5 to the 1, Frank?
5-1 is 87.
Okay.
and 5-9 is 101.
I'm just doing $5 to those ones. I should press more, but like you said, I'd rather just spend my money at Emerald, especially this last pick 3.
Yeah, I mean, I got my pick 3 in where, I'm alive, whatever. Plus, I'm a horrible multitasker, and I'll probably end up losing more money than I should.
Who's your top pick in the last race, Frank?
At Santa?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me bring up my matrix.
Oh, was it Gandalf? It scratched. I just saw that.
Yeah, well, I was 10-4, so Gandalf scratched. So now I'm 10-9-2 are my A's in that order. Then I have 4
what's
D's.
funny, Frank, for those people wanting to gamble, I was 10-9-1-2, Rosario Sadler. I thought that was was the one that scratched the other Sadler horse, Gandalf? Was the other Sadler, correct?
Gandalf scratched, yeah, and that's the one I liked more. So the
you're
Rosario one is live.
So that one is really live, and I actually thought the one was the liver one because guess who owns the number 1, Frank? Sadler actually owns that.
Yes,
horse
John Sadler Racing Incorporated.
He owns the horse outright, and I was like, Rosario for Sadler, gelded up in class, risk for $50K, but Sadler owns it, and we joke about it a lot of times. Who's going to claim horses for $50 or $80K? Well, I don't think Sadler.
Sadler, Miller, and Glad are like the only ones, and they're not. You're not going to claim for 50 off Sadler.
So that horse is very. What's the 5? Let's see. The 5 to the 1 is.
Yeah, I'm making some double bets here, Ciaran. Stronghold.
$84. I mean, it's not reflecting the.
That seems really good.
These doubles are fantastic, and just going off, if you do everyone else to the 10, excluding the 5, like if you did the 1 to the 10, 200, 188, 3 to the 10, 68, 4 to the 10, 100.
I mean, the 10 could easily get a wide strip and come up short,
Yeah, and the lowest pay is the 5 to the 10. If you are not a believer in the 10 in the next race, and you think this 5 is legit, you've got how many horses? 3. You got 9 horses in the next race, Frank. For a $5 double, costs you $45. If the 10 does not win the next race, you'll make 50% or more of your money on the double. If you're one of those guys who does, like the hedgy type of math, and you're like,
no, even if you like the 10, you can figure out a way where you bet $50 double to the 10, and then other combinations for less to make the same amount of money. Like,
but if you're not a believer,
would be so good here.
But if you're not a believer of the 10 in the next race,
off?
You're
because I think
really
I just got shut out.
Oh,
they're off.
Yep,
They just got shut out. Ay. All right, we'll be back. Good luck. I was able to get a $20 double in 5 to the 10, but I wanted to do some other doubles with price horses, but got shut out. Anyway, that's a nice horse, that Stronghold. I know Phil always had high expectations for that horse. Glad to see him back. Santa Anita Derby winner right there. Let's see, Ciaran, when they make it official, it was paying $18.50, we said, right? Very curious to see if it got whacked.
Drifted
late.
up to 20. Right at the end, it was
Wow.
20. Let's see where it went.
Yeah, let's see what it ended up at. Very curious to see if the CAW
It was 20 when everything closed. It was at 20, and actually the pool was very low. I thought the pool would have been way more.
Well, because we're doing Emerald.
Yeah.
DTL Crew is saving all their money for Emerald. We got money to make. We got Rolling P3s, 12%.
Yep.
If you build it, we will come.
Let me see how many minutes. We
while
got 9 minutes.
Yeah,
Emerald.
I was just going to say 9 minutes to Emerald. So the probable double, $20.50 is the last I have here.
Yeah, so it
That's
did
fantastic.
That for that kind of price over price. And I was posting some of my stuff today, and then some guy was like, yeah, the pick doubles and the pick threes are paying like $5 and $6. And then I put this whole thing out, and I went back into the last 5 days where I showed what the pays are. And I was like, then my dad's was on my shoulder going, son, never argue with idiots. People can't tell the difference. So I was like, yeah,
I love that.
I deleted the tweet.
I was thinking about that the other day when I was reading a bunch of stuff.
I deleted the tweet. I was like, yeah,
you just can't.
I'm not going to amplify. I'm not going to amplify stupidity.
I'm so weary and exhausted from trying to explain things to people who just will never get it. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just save all my mental energy and focus on the positives for people who do get it.
Oh,
right?
One second. Hang on.
Radar round incoming.
I'm going to wait a second because I don't know if he's in a crack house or where he is right now. What's going on with the camera? So,
Nick, if you don't mind just bearing with us for a little bit, we'll get you back on as soon as we can. We appreciate you standing by.
All right, Rob, is your horse going to win by 20? It owes me money. It owes me money. Is it going to win? Single?
Can you hear us?
Is he on your Wi-Fi, Frank?
Your internet might be a little messed up there. I'm going to look at the tote board here.
Uh-oh.
All right. You got off Frank's internet.
No, it's not mine.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I can't hear him.
What?
Are you on Wi-Fi or on a cell service? Because you're really breaking up. So
Can you hear what?
well, right now Rob's horse is 9-2. Ciaran, the one is 9-5. Let me look at the will pays. See what's a little sneaky.
It was all about the 1 and the 4.
4, same price.
I thought that. I mean, I did make the 4 my top, but then when I saw this horse that owes me money, I was like, I'm going to throw him in, and then we're going to get him on the show.
Well, he is on the show. We just got to figure out his little.
Let me see what I wrote.
Maybe text him and ask him to try just going on his cell through his cell service.
Right.
Sometimes that's better than when the Wi-Fi is wonky. That's a little bit better. And while you're doing that, I'm going to run through some will pays here. So let me see my matrix. So we are in race 7, and my order is strong push to the 3. I have the 3 singled on a bunch of tickets. That's Rob's horse. Even though the horse didn't win for 3,500 in a non-lifetime, it's at Southern California. So I have to think the quality of horses are still going to be better than the 5,000 claimers up here. But my preference is 3-1-4 as my A's, and then my B's are 6-7.
And I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And my second, I mean, I've got some spread tickets. I'm going to do it now. This is the race where I'm spending a fortune I'm throwing the big dollars out here, Frank. I think I'm going unless my math was jacked up again. Let me put the bet in so I can tell what it actually costs.
Are you starting a pick three? What are you doing?
Oh, there's some scratches, so my ticket's a lot cheaper. So I'm starting a new pick three. There was a scratch.
Here's mine.
Yeah, I'm going to add the banner now for it too.
I'm 5173. Then I'm single to 3. And then I also have 6-7. So I'm kind of spready here.
Yeah. There's mine right here. So I'm going to be kind of. You have the 5, though. I did not use the 5. That's the only horse I don't have in here.
Let me look at the 5.
McNamara?
Hold on. This is race 7, right?
Correct.
No, that's supposed to be. Oh, I messed up. That's supposed to be a 3.
Okay.
Hold on. Race 7, 5173. Oh no. That's wrong.
Okay, because I was almost going to use
those are my B's from race 6.
Yeah, because this race, Frank, and now the fact I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in this race, but now because you made that damn mistake, I'm gonna have to spend $4 more and go all in this first leg now. Just because
it's supposed to read. Because there were scratches there. Oh yes. My God, this is all messed up. Don't ignore this ticket until I figure it out. If you played it, maybe you want to cancel it. So race 7, I'm supposed to be 3-1-4, and then my B's are 6 and 7. So that first one is totally wrong. The second one is okay, 3, and then 6, 7. But I don't have my 1 and 4.
What do we have to do, Frank? What's the hand signal here when you go 6, 7? Some stupid thing like that? I don't know.
I think it's 6, 8 or something.
No, it's 6, 7, Frank. Don't date yourself.
I don't even know where that first one is B from the previous race. Oh my goodness.
Professional show here, guys. Mark Gelding is putting Frank's tickets together.
Here's my real pick 3 for race 7. And then if Rob's ready, you can bring him in while I'm doing this, Ciaran.
All right, 1 second. I'm just putting mine in.
He just disappeared again. I'm sorry, guys. I've got my matrix there's a glitch in the matrix. 3-1-4 I'm single to the 4 in race 8. So as long as you have this single in race 8, the 4, you're golden.
And I'm single. Who's your horse in the last race? Because I singled the 4 in the last race. Who's your single there in the very last race?
I don't think I have a single. I'm 283. I think the horse I like scratch, that 7 horse. Okay. I'll just do that. This was supposed to be for $5. My A line, $5 pick 3. All right, here we go, guys. So sorry about that. We are not responsible for typos. This was supposed to be my A line, 3-1-4, single to the 4, and then 283 for $5. So that's 3 times 3 is 9. That's a $45 ticket. I have to put that in because I put in the wrong ticket. I got 1 minute.
And then I came back and I'm got some tickets where I've got
get your head in the game, Frank.
4.
3-1-4 with 4.
And then I've got a couple of tickets. I've got 1 ticket singling with Rob's horse, but if you told me I was only allowed to do 1 horse in here, it would be the 4. Although Rob's horse, when I was talking to him the other day, he was like, it's training great, looks great, physically is great, mentally does not know. But
yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. But you know what? Like I love Rob because he's not one of those guys who is going to hang on and try and he knows what he has, right? So he's like, we'll just send the horse to Emerald and, try to get a win and a claim. Very smart. All right. I got that A-line ticket in. Thank goodness. Frank is a terrible multitasker, ladies and gentlemen, so he apologizes. Go to Low Takeout Bets and sign up for our mailing list because I think we might have a promotion later when things slow down.
We'll do it when we get to the last race. But Frank, interesting thing. So the pick 3, 10 is paying $36, Frank.
In the will pay?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Santa?
Santa.
I can't go there. I got to stick here.
No, I'm just like I don't think I've seen a payout that low. Wow. Although I mean a 7-5 over. I mean the
you like the four. You like the four in this race more than the one. We got to stay in Emerald because
I like the four in this race more than the one. And then when I saw that Rob, I always make it a point. Here's my notes for the four. This is the one last week that Nick was talking about. But the trainers, that horses run a bunch of times. The trainer knows what he's doing on this. They claimed her for 2,500, in for 5K in the win many. Or to Nick's point earlier, they won their money. They got it for 2,500. They threw it into this 5K race. They don't have to win, and they're winning. That's what you got to figure out in this race.
We're learning this, Ciaran, right? Because we don't know trainer intent.
Nope.
I'm gonna pop Rob and see if he's good. How's your internet, Rob?
Now it's fine. I think I got my technical issues resolved.
He shut the kids off from the Xbox, is what it was.
You gotta keep your streak alive here with another win. Do you want to do a pick three, a win bet, a double?
Yeah.
Tell people what to do.
I'll give you a quick pick three. We got they're about a minute or so.
I'll type
pick
it.
Three wise, Emerald. Let's do 1, 3, 4, 6 with 4, 5 with 2, 3, 4, 8.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna single the 3 here in this first leg. I'm gonna actually single Mistress Causeway on tickets, so that's a real cheap one.
So there's your spread, but you're gonna come back and single your horse on.
Yes.
And using the same ones, right?
He looks pretty good on the track, so I'm going to take a shot and maybe try to get some money back that I lost on this horse.
Can I ask you real quick? Francisco Rodriguez, your trainer now, was he Pipey's assistant for a while?
He was Jonathan Wong assistant.
Oh, Jonathan Wong's assistant. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. Did not
high
know
percentage.
So
high percentage.
He's a very good trainer under the radar.
Yes. 100%. So Francisco is basically Jonathan Wong. Huh? Say that again?
So is he going to be your primary trainer now?
No, Dan's still got my horse. He's still got Kerry Gold. But I use him like if I need to go to La Salle or something. Any horse to go over there. Definitely use Francisco. So we'll see what happens.
Right now, Jonathan Wong got railroaded by Heisa, and what they did to that guy is a shame, in my opinion.
I thought so too.
The other stuff that goes on, that when they do make, when they pick on someone to make a point, it's always the wrong guy they make the point on. Is the annoying part, I think.
And they got Hallandorfer too.
Well, they're loading. So let's watch this race and root you home, Rob. If you want to stick around for a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. Let's watch this.
All right.
Root for the 3. No good. Corn pop.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the notes. I don't know how.
I mean, Talia, the jockey on the 6 is just so weak. Oh, she's so weak. A stronger rider you might have got there, but I was a little worried about her. Ugh. But 5-1 just missed. Oh well, streak's over. Late double.
Well, the streak's over. It's Emerald down. Your streak is Santa Anita, Rob. Remember.
Oh,
You
true,
gotta
but
clarify it. Come on.
You can do a double. There's no rules on this show. This is Lucy Goosey Emerald.
got to do the late dub, right?
Fire away.
Oh wait, there is no late double as Emerald. Oh, there is. Yeah, $1. Yeah, yeah, I got it.
It's just a normal double. So
I actually like
I'm
2
alive
horses
on
to
my
3
pizza
horses.
there.
I am going to do a late double. I'm going to narrow down. I'm going to go 4-5 with 2-3-8.
Okay,
You know, Mark Gelding's alive on his pick 3, Frank. On all of them. Gelding's alive.
Hey, everyone. I've got my picks right here. Race 7, all. Race 8, all. Race 9, all. Trust me, this is the winning ticket. See you in the winner's circle.
This might be the time he makes money on it, too.
So, Rob, 4-5 with what?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a double. I'm going to I mean, I was going to do 2-3-4-8, but since I'm only doing a double, the 4 in the last race, Valley Echo, I mean, he could win definitely, but there was a serious pace meltdown in that race. I mean, the horses that were in the lead all faded out. It was all closers in that race. And he was basically almost last, and he just picked up the pieces there. So I didn't really love that. So I'm thinking more 2-3-8 there. So I would just do a double 4-5 with 2-3-8.
Yeah, I think the scratches really killed
it.
And that race, almost 40% of the time, a horse 5-1 or more has won.
Wow. Okay, and that 2,500. Okay.
That last race, yes.
Because I believe Valley Echo is going to get bet pretty hard based on that last race.
Hammered.
So I'm just going to try to beat him there. I really am. I mean, like I thought he just picked up the pieces. So, I mean, it seems wide open. I wouldn't take a favorite in that race. No way. You know what I mean? You can't.
In race 8, that Twirling Daddy, has won 2 in a row. But the trainer, when he does this move, 6 of 11. I thought the 5 was like a really good single candidate in this.
Yeah, he won. He won pretty easy his last race. I watched a replay. It was pretty in hand. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the 4. I think you just have to almost use the 4. George Rosales with Adrian Castellanos. That's kind of one of his main guys, and George is super high percentage. So I thought you had to use him, but the 5 would probably be my top pick if I had to choose between the 2. Yes. So,
Ciaran, are you alive on anything?
Nope.
Uh-oh. Nothing?
I'm the only one alive.
Oh, my God. So what do you have alive, Frank? You have a pick 3 or a pick 4?
Yeah, I started a pick 3. My B ticket, let me put that up there. I mean, I was really wrong in that race, but I did have a good note on. I had both the 6 and the 7 on my B ticket. If I can find it, where is it? Frank Emerald race 7. That last ticket there, 6-7. I'm single to the 4 here, and then I'm 2-8-3.
Okay.
If I type that in right, because yeah. Oh wow, I'm surprised the 4 is 3-1. The 4 is kind of dead. Let's look at the will pays here real quick.
Yeah, the pick 3, the 4 is paying $47.
Oh, so that's going to come in big time. Yeah, 7-5 morning line,
and the double's paying 41 on the 4.
Mischief's Causeway definitely didn't run there. Yes. I'm glad I sold him. Oh my goodness. That was
you
bad.
sold the horse?
Oh yeah, I didn't own him that race.
Oh,
They
okay.
still
I
list
didn't
you as
realize
the owner.
that.
They still
It
list you as
says,
owner.
yeah, in the form you're listed as listed as you.
Yeah, they listed me, but I hadn't gave him the paper yet when he entered. So
okay.
I just gave it to him yesterday. So it was, I mean, I knew it was probably maybe going to be under my name, but I had no
trainer?
interest in it.
Or
So
new trainer?
no, Francisco's still going to be training him,
Okay.
but he definitely I didn't own him there, so no big deal. I was just maybe trying to hit a little bet on him, but yeah,
I wouldn't have used the horse if I knew that.
he was pinballed at the start. He did get pinballed a little bit. I did see that. But
Yeah, and
he
never got hold of the track, I don't think.
Nah, he looked bad. I knew right away he was beat.
Climbing the whole time.
Yeah, he's just a mentally weird horse. I'm glad I don't have him anymore.
No, that's what I was saying. Is like that's a tough decision, right? As an owner,
yes.
At some point you have to make that decision, right?
But yeah,
it's
I had
a tough
to cut.
decision to make because if you make it too early and the horse ends up becoming, a better horse, you feel like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
But I think in this game, more often than not, the sooner you make that decision, the better. But I don't know. I don't own horses.
Yeah, I definitely knew I had to cut the cord on that one because when I buy my horses, they're on my supplement program, and this one, he not only was not a good eater, which is a big thing. You want to claim horses that are good eaters.
Okay.
And this guy just did not eat. So
really?
No, he was a bad eater. So he wouldn't eat like my supplements.
Really?
He was too picky. So that's why I knew right then. I was like, oh.
What's funny is when you say that. So we had this filly, Rob, and lazy. Like Phil ended up giving her away, and we sent her up to Andy Mathis, which is up at Golden Gate. She had foot issues. It was a Swall, Frank, and you know this backstory later.
Swall.
And she was so lazy, and she came down to Del Mar because she still had some class, and she was doing really well up at Golden Gate. So they brought her down, and then she ran a dull effort, and we're like, and Andy, and he's like, she was leaning up against the gate because she was in there 10 seconds too long, and he's like, this is the only horse I've ever had where she did a mile race and gained weight.
Oh wow.
She would eat like everything under the sun. But
that's like Mark Gelding. He's running a marathon and eating a sandwich at the same time.
But she ended up winning. She never won anything. She came second in a couple races. She almost came second on that.
Oh, didn't she?
Race
She went to Didn't she go to Turfway Park?
Yeah. So the story with Turfway Park, it was the last day for the cutoff for the NHC. It was the last race. And I was telling everyone, guys, I got a horse in here. And both I and Steve-O bet it. 20-1 we went off. 3-way dead heat at 20-1, which would have got us both in to the next day, like all the way through. And they somehow were able to dead heat us for second place with a 3-way photo. And with a dead heat on a 20-1, we missed the cutoff by like $1 or something like that.
Oh, that's brutal.
That's brutal.
If she wins, you go forward. If she runs second by herself, you go forward. But because of the dead heat, you got to split the money, and you miss the.
If she'd won, both and Steve-O, me and Steve-O would have made it. On the Sunday. All the way through.
That's kind of a sick beat that you dead heat, and that costs you. That costs you the cut line.
That's ugly.
That's horse racing and contests, and you get used to it after a while.
It's ugly. That's real ugly.
Hey, Rob, do you have an opinion in the last race at Santa Anita? Because there's 3 minutes to post there. Just curious.
Oh, I didn't have the paper. I did all right in the early races at Santa Anita, and then I hit a good double, and then I didn't really look at the late pick 5. I just hit that the 4th and 5th race I had.
Frank, I'm alive on the pick 3 times to the 10. So I'll only owe the track a little bit of money. The pick 3's paying $36 on the 10.
How much?
$36.
And what's the double paying? 20?
20, yeah.
Double's paying really good.
And the double's paying great. We even said it earlier. Like the double
you have $75 double. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got it 15 times for that. And then I also have a $5 double with the 1.9. The one's paying 95. The 2 is the shocking one. The 2 got a lot of money. That Belmont Papa Drama horse, 64.50. And the 9, the Kyle Frey horse, 106. I've also got those 3 in the pick 3 as well. The 2 is the sneaky money, Frank. I don't think the 2 is going to stay at 5-1, even with the money.
I'm alive to the 10, 9, and 2 for a $6 pick 3.
10, 9, 2. Okay, I want to know who to root for here.
I have the same ones along with 1. I've got 10, 9, 1, 2.
10, 9, 1, 2. All right.
Look, Frank, we kind of knew that Sadler horse with Rosario, the 1, 5-1.
I thought that was a smokescreen horse because I like Gandalf better. But yeah,
well, he's getting bet. Rosario's he's going to be the dominant guy, I believe, for sure.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking with Billy all day yesterday. His agent, Billy Castle. I was up there in the lounge. Pretty much, I hadn't seen him in a while. I'm really good friends with him, and yeah, he's definitely got the guy. I mean, I think that's why he came back. That's why he came out of retirement.
All the pools, and the favorite is 10. The second choice is the 2. For those of you thinking, like I want to do exotics, the 2 is the dominant second choice across every single pool there is, and not close, like really dominant. It's like 10, 2, and it starts jumping up on everything.
I'm trying to remember. No, I'm not alive. Oh, actually, I think I am alive in the all turf. Did so many bets today; it's like dizzying. I'm not a 2-track guy, Rob. I'm a one woman man, and I'm a 1-track man.
Well, that's almost on top of each other.
That's kind of why I was like just concentrating on the Emerald, because I'm like, okay, I already did Santa Anita's early, so I'm like, all right, I need to just concentrate on Emerald here. Yeah. So they're loading in the gate. Yeah,
they're loading, guys. Let's take a little break and we'll come back. Good luck to everyone who's alive, and then we'll be able to take the Emerald, and then we'll take a breather. Good luck.
Winner.
Chicken dinner.
Favorite, but what you got to take it. Got to take what they give you.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up it was a $75 double, you know, so got the day back plus other money on the side, but that's how you're supposed to do it.
It chopped out, but you can still make.
That was that based on the pick 3 only paying 36 and the double paying 20. Like, if we were at the track, we might have bet some more money, Frank. You know, that was a great payout on the double.
Yeah,
like,
we had a 2 to 5 to an even money, and you're getting $20. Like
4 to 1.
$20.
4 to 1. And,
Now is that for that's for a $5 double, right?
Yeah, but you're essentially getting 4 to 1.
But still, it's 4 times 4. Well, I mean, we'll do the parlay, but the parlay's probably got to be like $12, right? I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah. So yeah, you got 3 to 1 on a 2 to 3 to 5 and an even money.
2 to 5. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Stronghold paid $3, so that's
1 to 2.
$6 and $7.50 to an even money. So that's going to pay what, $4? So $7 times 7 times 4 is what, 28
minus
have
14
that
bucks.
14.
Yeah, you got paid more than you would on the parlay.
You got
Way
$6 more thanks to the low takeout.
Yep, that makes a huge difference.
That's a good day.
And there's people. There'll be people on X yapping and going, "Oh, look at Santa Anita's crappy card where they had a even money over an even money." And then it's like, dude, it paid 4 to 1. What more do you want? You want 20 to 1 over 20 to 1 that you're not going to have?
Yeah. I mean,
come on.
You're not going to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it looked kind of chalky. I mean, so I was like, I wanted to play it, but once I did the early one, I was like, well, I'll do the early pick 5 at Santa Anita, and I'll do the late pick 4 at Emerald, or late pick 3.
We got 6 minutes. Back to Emerald we go. So off to Emerald. We got 6 minutes left. We got to do some doubles now.
Doubles.
What's funny is watch us have their double pool go up 50% just with the 3 of us gambling.
And Nick,
Did you guys look at the double pools and see what it is, like in the pick 4s and the pick 5s generally?
We saw what last year's were, but I just looked at the pick 3s. We really want to help prop up these pools because even like we just saw at Santa Anita, the difference between that 15%, that's the difference between a winning day and a losing day. Now you have the 12% at Emerald, which is even better. I wish the minimum was a little bit higher, but Ciaran and I are going to start monitoring it and playing Emerald a little bit more, track a little bit of data because we've been doing this for 9 months. We know that the low takeout matters. We know that the higher minimum matters. But now we want to see if it also works with the 50 cent. Because, you know what I mean? Like,
it matters a lot, those late takeouts. It's huge. I mean, it's incredible how much a difference it makes. It's like wild, you know, because normal takeouts can be 20, 24% on a lot of the pools. So if you're looking at 11, 12%, that's killer.
Right.
That's really nice.
The dollar's worth 88 cents here. At other tracks, it's only worth, 78 cents. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge difference.
And then
if
our
you have it
hope
100 times, that's a lot of money.
Our hope is when the DTL crew rolls into some of these tracks and bet handle on some of these things, and then we go, how can you approve? If they will ask us, you think some of them would ask us when we have data. Like every other show, you know what their data is? Look at our views on YouTube. Whereas we go, look at the handle on the days we do a show. Shouldn't you be caring about handle?
Rob, we've been tracking this for a long time, and the late
blow
double,
your mind the data.
All the all turf, the late pick 3, and the late double at Santa Anita. Those are the only pools that are on the way up. The late pick 5 and late pick 4, they're down from last year. They're down, down. No one, Ray Pollock, Matt Haggerty at the Racing Form, no one at the TDN, no one has even written about this. Like,
look at this.
It's unbelievable to me
1.8
that the one
million.
bright spot for horse players is being ignored.
Yes. And it's true. The pick 3 is way up. I mean, to me, that's probably one of the top bets at Santa Anita, the late pick 3. I mean, the payouts are always really, really, really nice.
We're going to start to look at the the coast to coast, because we have a couple of members of our crew who love that bet. It's it's a pick 5. I think it's $1, and it's no CAWs at all. They're locked out. They can't get involved. And I see the pays. I mean, like possible life-changing scores in those pools. Have you ever played it, Rob?
No, I haven't really done the coast to coast. Yeah. I've looked at it a couple times, but I noticed one time the pool wasn't that big, and that's why I stayed away from it, because it just was. People just don't know about it.
Yes,
to be honest with you.
The tracks don't. You probably know more about corgi races than you do some of the bets. Or they don't
knock the corgi races, man.
I remember seeing the coast. I remember looking at the pool, the coast to coast pick 5, and I was like, that doesn't look as entire. I mean, it just was way lower than just a regular Santa Anita pool. Okay. So I was like, I stayed away. Well, and I looked at the Emerald. I did some research on Emerald, and the pick 5s generally the last Sundays, the last 3 Sundays, it was like about 30-something thousand, and then the pick 3 was about 25 to 30,000.
Yeah, the late pick 3 was between 20 and 30, but the rolling ones are like only 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. I was just looking at the late pick 3 on Sundays, the last 3 weeks. So I mean, the double I think is about 18 grand, I believe, and so
that's the thing, and that's normal. Like if you the early double and the late double, they're bigger pools than the rolling doubles during the day. Same thing, the late pick 3 is always going to be bigger than the rolling ones, but we would like to give the message that they're 12% all day long. Like, there's no reason all of them shouldn't be 30,000. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a good opportunity. So we're testing it out a little bit because we want to make players aware that these opportunities are out there. And I think if we show up with our money and support them, then at some point the industry is going to have to listen, right?
One would think.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Well, you know what? 0 minutes at Emerald here.
Let's do it. I put my bets in already. I got some doubles going. I got a $50 double going. So let's hope. 3, 4. I mean, a 4, 5 with 2, 3, 8s. I did a $50 double.
I'm single to the 4 in my late pick 3. Ciaran, did you do anything? Because you got whacked out of everything.
I was looking at doing a double 4-4. I didn't look to see what the pays are. 4-4 is $6.
There's Rob.
Yeah, I'm trying to beat that 4 in the 9th. We'll see.
Let me look real quick. 4 in the 9th, 4. DTL Crew, we will get to your comments after this race at Emerald, I promise. And then we're gonna have Chris Larmy come on for a little bit too. So just bear with us, please.
They are.
I don't know.
Are they on? Oh, no.
Let's see.
But yeah, I mean, Santa Anita. That
Who's your buddy? I remember meeting your buddy at the racetrack a couple of times. What's his name?
Little Nate. Say hi, Nate.
Hello.
Nate, great.
I've met him at Del Mar, and you ask him.
He's a little jockey. He likes to ride.
You were like, what do we call this horse? And he said, paycheck horse.
All right,
James,
let's do this.
I hope this is for Emerald, James. I'm just throwing that up there because I'm a little discombobulated. But I'm going to put Rob's up. Nate, who do you like?
Who do you like, the great runner or twirling derby?
I think great runner.
He likes great runner.
I agree.
Right, that's the right answer, Nate. Good job, buddy.
All right, good luck to everybody out there. Let's hit this.
All right.
But get out.
I love that Emerald is after. They got 2 races after Santa Anita.
Yeah, that's
great timing, actually.
And tonight's all trials at La Salle, so no thoroughbreds tonight at La Salle, which I usually look at. But the trials I generally stay away from.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So they're not going to run thoroughbreds the first couple of races like they usually do?
No, it's all trials, the whole card.
All right, well, they're at the gate. We're going to bounce out. We'll be back after this, and then we'll have Chris Larmy come on as a special guest as well. What a show, guys. Thank you.
Sounds good. Good luck, everybody.
Everyone.
Say good luck.
Good luck.
We got a lot of learning to do here at Emerald, Ciaran.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
A lot of seconds.
But
No ordinary tiger. Bet in half. Let me see. I know I have notes on that horse because I had that horse as a B.
I will say I knew my ticket construction would be messed up today, but we haven't done it in a while. If I was to change something, I wouldn't be hitting the $5 in the single. I'd be spreading a little bit more till I get my feet under me here. But
that's funny because funny you should say that because I was thinking the opposite. I said I would like to be a lot tighter, but my handicapping confidence was not very good because we haven't. The only time I've played this track is Long Acres Mile. That's it. And those horses, they lay it down, they run their hearts out, and then they're never the same again. But know how we talk about conditions? One of these had a really weird condition, and I was like, oh my god, like we're really gonna have to learn the circuit a little bit. But
yeah, and I mean,
I'm excited about that actually.
I ended up upgrading the Lost Owl horse, but maybe the Lost Owl horses, if they go up there, like, yeah, no. You know, Rob's horse had 3 legs.
Nick gave some good information. Recency is important. Those Turf Paradise horses. But here, this was the race 8, right? That was the one we just watched. Okay, for horses who have started for a claiming price of $5,000 or less since April 27, 2025, and which have not won a starter allowance for $5,000 or less at Emerald Downs in 2026. Oh my God, you need like a PhD to figure this out.
Hang on, Frank. I think we have a special guest, but we've got a video for him first.
Chris, I
Buy
apologize.
my book today, and I will throw in my own tears from my last bet.
All right.
I'm bringing Chris in. This is a tough show, Chris, and I know you have thick skin, but that's how we welcome our guests with sarcastic videos. How
Hello,
you doing
guys.
today?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us? I don't think. Ciaran, say something. Stop punking.
I was just messing around. Sorry.
I'm gonna give it back, Chris. We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Yep. His thing was he was good for a second.
Let's bring Rob in real quick. We'll let Rob go, and then I want to go through some comments.
All right.
So I narrowed down to the 4 or 5 that race, but I did have the 2 originally. I was a little sick, but yeah, I did have them right there. I crossed them out.
Well, this is a learning experience. Have you played Emerald before?
I have, but not often, for sure. I mean, this is maybe the 3rd time in my life I played it. So,
hey,
learning experience.
If these tracks were to take notice and if they're lurking in the background, the fact that we're even thinking, I would never have bet Emerald down and all. Like I was like a big track guy, and the amount of different tracks we've done this year, Frank, and we roll in, we don't know what we're doing, as in, we're not used to the circuits and the jockeys and the tendencies, but I'm enjoying it. Like we're getting exposed to new stuff. I mean, it's lower level racing, but so what? The horse doesn't know what it's worth.
Doesn't know.
Look,
I was definitely worried about that because Silvio Amador, he's pretty hot right now, and him hopping on there was obviously a good thing. I originally had him picked, and then I was like, for the sake of saving some money on the pick 3s and doubles, I decided to leave him out. And, that was a mistake. That's usually what happens sometimes.
I had him
for
as
the purposes of the show. Give out what you like, and it's up to the person to decide if it's too expensive or not. You know what I mean? Like. So don't feel like you have to trim your ticket. I mean, obviously you're not going to put out $1,000 ticket, but when you put out your ticket, put out what you like, and then when we go through it, you can explain, hey, this might be a little too expensive, but I feel like I need to spread here. But if you want to be tighter, just use the 4 and the 5 or something like that. So
I probably should. That horse.
In that last race, I had my notes were drops in class after closing well last at 6 furlongs. Top power used, but I mean, I liked other ones more. I would have been live if I'd gotten out of that last.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, Ciaran. Yeah, you would have had every horse in every race. That's it, Rob. You're fired. You're not coming back. You didn't give us one winner today. Very disappointed in you, Rob.
Terrible. Emerald new. All right, I'll just go back to Santa Anita. But no, I like Emerald, and I'll definitely do it again, 100%. But I mean, I was due to have a down day, so it happens.
No, the DTL crew loves you. We love you. You made us so much money on the show at Santa Anita. Look, we all whiffed at Emerald. It was our first try. It's a learning curve, but that gives us a challenge. So we'll be back again. I'm going to let you go because we have Chris Larmy in the studio. He's going to come on and join us. But thanks so much, Rob. We really appreciate it, and you're welcome anytime. We'll have you back real soon.
Sounds great, guys. All right, good luck the rest of the way. Have a great day, and I'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Chris, bear with us for 1 second. We haven't been able to get to the comments in the live chat. Give us like 2 minutes to run through and welcome all of our listeners, and then we'll have you on. Really excited to have you, Chris. So just bear with us for a second. Ciaran, you must have loved this show because we didn't get to go to the comments once. Your least.
I tried to go to the comments, but you nixed me, and I don't know.
Didn't have time.
I mean, I wanted to show Chris my video that I spent many minutes creating.
Wait on that, please, because I want to preface that. Ciaran gives everyone a welcome video, which is not everyone actually. If you get a welcome video, it is actually a sign of massive respect. But at the same time, Ciaran has a little bit of a sarcastic sense of humor. But we'll address that in a minute. John Paley, thank you. John has been on X really pushing our show and what we're doing to tracks and media people. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. Dan H., you've been with us from the jump. Really, really appreciate you. Of course, Nick Sievers was on the show sharing all the information. Thank you. SC3P, always appreciate you. New person here, Norbert Wiener milk. Hello. Well, hello right back. How we doing? We'd be doing better if we were winning, right, Ciaran?
Yep. Although I will say, Frank, I was going to say before we got cut off, that was a chalky double at Santa Anita. And that's simple. And usually you would have said it if we were just doing Santa Anita, you would have said, Ciaran, you're doing a $75 double. That probably means something.
Yeah, you never do that. Especially
that
with
$75 double covered all the bets today. And I get to churn again. You know, and
right,
I tried to,
right?
Yeah, I paid $300. So I get to churn again. I got my money back and get that grow the handle again, which is what these tracks don't understand. Give us a chance to churn.
Churn,
give us a chance to churn and make big money, and we will keep betting.
Thank you for joining us, John. Yeah, the Friday night, I think it's a late post on Friday. That's like right up our alley. I would love that.
You're a vampire. I get up at 5 a.m, go to bed at 8. Whose alley is this Emerald down? What time's the race end at?
You can easily be replaced, Ciaran. I'll just put out an ad in horse racing co-host times.
All right. I'll just do stupid videos on the side. Have Mark Gelding step in for me. You can just click.
Well, here you go, Tony. I agree with you. I don't like the 50-cent minimum at all.
We don't either.
We're here for the 12% takeout, and we're gonna track it. We're gonna monitor it, and we're gonna kind of figure out the best way to maximize what they have. But I'm with you. I prefer the higher minimums. Jeff, thank you for joining us. How about this? Blair Thompson, new person, welcome. He's playing Hawthorne. I love it.
But we gotta. If we spend some money there and they see that people are interested in their low takeouts, they'll start reaching out and going, hey, what do you think we could improve? And the number one thing to improve is higher minimums. I mean, the low takeout is fantastic. That's step one. Higher minimums are where they're at. And that's why you'll never see it at places like Churchill. They don't want to raise it up. They don't.
That's a perfect segue, actually. So we're going to bring in Chris Larmy. For those who don't know Chris has been a very prominent horse player for a very long time. Excellent tournament player. He's also been a player advocate. He has been championing low takeout. He has a lot of data that he provides for free to educate horse players. Game selection, huge advantage if you know what you're doing and you pick the right pools. So we are thrilled to have Chris on because he's also the author of a new book. And he's been fighting the fight for a long time. We've been doing this for 9 months, Ciaran, and it's been a struggle, but the messaging is finally getting out. And we're going to have
before I knew that you knew him, Frank, we were referring to his low takeout table to find out where we were going to gamble.
That's right. And I'm like, that's Chris Larmy. Like, oh, okay. Well, his handle is Derby 1592. So anyway, Chris, welcome.
Hi, guys. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, sorry. Frank likes to talk a lot. So as you noticed, the 2 minutes ended up being like 8 minutes of him yapping and blabbing. So we appreciate you.
It's important to get to the DTL crew because that's what makes our show so unique, Chris. We are in the moment. We're in the heat of battle. And look, if I had to talk to Ciaran one-on-one for 4 hours, I'd be in a mental hospital. So DTL crew keeps us going, energy, questions. This show was a little hectic because we did Emerald Rolling P3s for the first time, 12% low takeout. And we also did Santa Anita. We usually just focus on one track. And we had 3 guests, which is very rare. But
rare.
We wanted to have you on the show for a few reasons. Why don't we talk about your book first?
Before we do that, here we go.
Yeah.
Buy my book today, and I will throw in my own tears from my last bet.
Good segue.
That is a sign of affection from Ciaran, believe me. And he's admitted on the show that he doesn't read books. So his opinion doesn't matter. But the fact that he spent time making videos for you means that you're like elite. But tell us about the book because that'll lead nicely into the CAW discussion because you do devote a whole chapter to that in addition to many, many other great things in the book.
Yeah, I host a couple podcasts. One of those is the Bet with the Best podcast. I started that a few years ago. It's really bringing in really good players, many of them professional players, many of them sort of legends of the game like Andy Beyer and Steve Christ and Barry Meadow, but also professional players that are making their living at the game today, even guys like Mike Maloney and Paul Matisse. So try to pick their brain, how they became successful, how they got started in the game. And, I thought the shows went really well. It was really well received. Developed a lot of good content that's still out there. If people want to go back and listen to those, you can go to betwiththebestmedia.com. I have links to the podcast, but you can go on any of your platforms that you listen to podcasts on and listen to those. But I generated a lot of content, and I thought after a few years it would really make sense to try to collect all this, organize it, kind of add some of my own thinking, and try to create a book that was really a complete book for horse players, up to date, based on the way the game has changed over the last 20 years. It kind of looked back, but also brought everything up to date, because there really hasn't been a comprehensive horse player book out in the last 10 years. And so I wanted to kind of plug that gap. And that's what I did. I developed the book, Bet with the Best, content into a book I call Betting on Horses. Pretty simple. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Right. Keyword bet, right?
Yes. And that was why I called my podcast Bet with the Best. It was really focused on the betting side. We didn't ignore the handicapping, the race analysis, because that's important. But, everybody likes to do that. That gets a lot of airtime, but it's the betting side and all the other stuff like money management and horse player psychology and race selection and bet sizing and how you deal with the computer teams and all that stuff that's just as important or more important than handicapping a race. I wanted to cover all that in the podcast and in the book. I got a lot of help because I had the wisdom of all these guys that and gals. And so it's not just me, but I tried to add in a few of my own thoughts as well and kind of weave it all together into a framework that I call the basic process for a horse player, and put it all in one place and try to help anybody, no matter where you are, beginner or advanced, improve, not just in your handicapping, but also in your ability to bet. And putting those two things together was what it really takes to be successful.
There's definitely something for everyone in there, no matter what level you're at. So wherever you are in your process, you're going to level up based on the information you have. But I worked with you a little bit on that, and I had
well, you might take some credit, Frank. Yeah. You edited the book for me, so you had a big role.
I also learned a lot, and because it's essential to our show and what Ciaran and I have been trying to do, but it never really dawned on me because early on in the process, you were using the term gambler, right? And we have been conditioned as horse players. Gambler is a dirty word. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean?
I remember this. Yes, keep going.
The stigma that is still around in the industry. That if you told someone 15 years ago that you were a horse player, they thought you were eating sandwiches out of garbage cans, like you were a loser. And that mentality still exists today. You were using gambler as a good thing. So we talked about that. And once that light bulb went off in my head, I was like, yes. And there's really good handicapping information in the book, but your focus is entirely on what we do on our show. We're betting, we're horse players, we gamble. We're trying to make money. You don't get an award for picking 8 horses, but if your bankroll is bigger than the next guy's, you did something right. And when Ciaran and I started to do the show, the messaging we wanted to put out, and Ciaran, I'll let you talk about this too. We're not a handicapping show. We are a live wagering show, and it is astounding to us that nobody else is really doing this. There's
we gamble live. I mean, we come in and we're going to pick 1, 2, 3 in this race. We're all about it all week long, and we come in and we sit down and we go, crap. The 4 is getting hammered on every damn pool. Then we look at the 4 and we're like, I was kind of on the side. And then the 4 is the one that wins, and we make all our money.
Yeah.
Using the live info.
All that stuff is great, and you need it. But, we feel like our audience they're pretty good handicappers on their own. They don't want to hear us droning on why we like the one. They want to know why we're betting the one. And we're looking at the will pays. We're looking at the probables. We're looking at the tote. We're trying to do ticket construction. And I'm going to turn it over to you in a second, but we got the best compliment ever. Nick Sievers, he's been watching us from the jump. When we started this, we didn't know where the show was going. And he meant this as a compliment, but it sounds very negative. He posted, he goes, guys, I went back and watched some of the old shows. You guys made some really terrible bets. Okay. His point was we've evolved. Like, we are much better bettors now because we've been kind of workshopping this. And that's what you also put forth right here in your book. You talk to guys like ITP and all these brilliant guys who have revolutionized the game and actually in the 1% who make money being a professional gambler. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
We always try to, every show we end up, we're like, man, I screwed. Like, even today, we're like, dude, I totally did this so bad. I kind of adopted the high minimum for the bets today, but it was our first time. I'm going to tweak it for the next time we do Emerald. But if you're not learning every time you're betting, you're screwing yourself up, because if you think you know it all, you don't. Someone always knows more, especially in this era when we're competing against the robots. My word, they've got every edge under the sun right now. You probably could talk about it even more.
Yeah, well, I mean, go ahead, Frank.
No, you go. I was gonna turn it over to you.
Well, I was going to say, part of that, what I call the basic process for a horse player, is the review and improve piece that you just talked about. That if you want to get better, you have to be reviewing your performance and seeing, where you could improve. And in particular, do that sort of over the long term. So, that's part of improvement, and that's where, the betting is where you get your feedback. You win or lose, it's real feedback. You either make money or you lose money. And that's why I think gamblers, if you're smart about it and you actually do review your results and try to improve, you can improve rapidly because you're getting that feedback on a race. Every time you make a bet, you're going to get some feedback. So that's an important part of the game, is kind of that review and improve. And I remember, Frank, when we first started with the very first chapter that you edited of my book, when we got into this, you were trying to get me to change the word gambler to something else because you thought it was a bad thing. And I'm saying, no, you want to be a good gambler. Gambler is not a pejorative. Gamblers are some of the smartest people on the planet, and it took a while before you really understood. I mean it. I'm not going to change.
Problem is, gambling on social media now, you get hammered for it, and the algos block you. That's probably where Frank was coming from.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, we got to be careful on YouTube because of it's gambling content. There's.
Oh yeah, I have already been lost my account a couple of times because of it's got gambling associated with it on my website and my mailing thing. Right. So yeah, it's still out there, right? But it's changing a lot in society. Although I think we're starting to see a backlash. But I mean, the bottom line is, what I talked about was to be successful, you need what I call the gambler's mindset, and that meant you have to be thinking about how to find an edge and always be looking for an edge. And the only way you can do that is to think differently or to find information that others either overlook or don't have access to. That's really the only way that you can win, is you have to have an edge. If you're betting without an edge, you're just using the same information, doing the same thing as everybody else. You might pick winners, you might cash tickets, but there's no way you can make money long term because
you can't beat the takeout.
You can't beat the takeout. And you can't beat the wisdom of the crowd that way. If you're the crowd, you're part of the crowd, you can't beat the crowd. And so you have to separate yourself. You have to be thinking about, how can I get an edge? How can I get out in front of people? And then you have to realize that when you find an edge, it will not last forever because people catch up. So you have to aggressively exploit the edge, and then you have to be looking for the next edge. And that's kind of one of the main themes in the book, is that this gambler's mindset is critical to success, much more so than being a good handicapper. And you have to really be good at both handicapping and betting. And that's where I created what I called the horse player maturity map. And it just basically says you need to improve on both dimensions to really be a successful horse player. And I tried to, in the book, provide ways to improve on either dimension, either through better analysis of the races, better race selection, things like that, but also how to better execute your bets, size your bets, manage your money, structure tickets, deal with the emotional side of being a horse player, which is really critical long term. And it's a grind, and you're going to have ups and downs. And if you don't deal with that in a healthy way, it's going to bring you down. So I try to cover all that.
The hard way early on in the show when he was running second to my horses all the time, and he got very, very frustrated. And we actually had it out. We're brothers, we're friends, but sometimes it's healthy to be like, hey, you have to have thick skin as a horse player. It's not an easy thing. So they're almost at the gate at Emerald, but before we come, we're going to go away and come back. You talked about an edge, and I'm going to give Ciaran all the credit for this. When Del Mar asked us to create a show to help them promote last summer, they introduced the $5 late double and the $3 late pick 3, and they wanted us to help them market it. So that's how we came about the show. But we called it Double Trouble because we're two people and we're a lot of trouble. But we were focusing on the late double, and that was the show.
Mm-hmm.
Ciaran quickly learned that the late pick 3 combined with the late double is the show. That's where it's at. And that the late pick 3 had way more value than any other bet that we have seen in a long time. So right away we found, okay, that's where our edge is, because we knew the CAWs, they couldn't manipulate a $3 pool with 15% takeout and then come back and correct it with a $5 late double with a 15% takeout. But we'll talk about that when we come back. They're at the gate. I don't think we're alive to anything. We kind of got slaughtered today at Emerald, but it's a learning experience. So, Chris, do you have time to come back and join us after the race?
Sure. I'll just wait here. For some reason I lost the connection a couple times with sound, but hopefully it'll last through the break. So
you sound good. I'm just going to remove everyone from the studio so we can watch the race. We'll be back. Sorry, I was talking to the executive producer.
I got another video because you know me. I can't
hear you guys right now. So if you can hear me,
we can.
I think this happened last time we cut away. So I'm going to log out and log back in real quickly.
Go ahead, Ciaran. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to play a video, but if you can't see my video, maybe I should show
the bad. If you can't hear us, you got to wait.
No, I was going to say maybe I should show the bad video.
No, play the Emerald. Play that. No, let's talk about this. So, just because we want a learning experience. So, Rob had the winner.
Yep.
And I wasn't alive to anything, but I was 283 there.
I did not even use that one, and my notes were slow.
Well, they're all slow. They're $2,500
No, but-
horses.
Yeah, the fact that I did a slow for these horses, I was like, other ones were faster, but I put slow. I mean, look at, yeesh. I mean, did drop in class 25. I mean, 5K to 2,500. Yikes! You know, I just thought other ones had more speed, if you'd say that, but lesson learned. Yikes!
Can you
Guys,
hear us
again,
now,
I
Chris?
keep losing the sound. I'm not sure what's the problem.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm going to try
Everybody
one
else
more
is-
time. I apologize.
Maybe reboot.
Not sure what's
Maybe
happening.
Reboot. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I'd love for Chris to come back because he was one of the ones who started posting about the news out of NYRA. So
Yes.
Real quick, NYRA has been limiting CAW access to all the pools, and it's cost them money. But it's a loss leader because they want to help restore goodwill amongst horse players and try to figure out how we can coexist together. So we had already had plans to, start doing some NYRA coverage for Saratoga. But I wanted Chris to talk more about the whole CAW issue, what we're doing here with the low takeout, high minimum stuff. Santa Anita also has the Coast to Coast and the Sunset that are CAW verboten. They're not allowed in the pools. Can you hear us now, Chris?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm good. Sorry. I don't know whether there's some glitch with my connection, but I'm good.
Okay, so if we could pivot a little bit, because we're talking about getting the edge and all that stuff. A little bit of good news coming out of New York, right? We have good news out here in California that the late pick 3 pools and the double pools on the ascendant, the late pick 5, the late pick 4, kind of going down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a bright spot here with the focus of our show. But NYRA just announced that, they took a little bit of a hit once they started limiting the CAW access. But they're committed to that because there has to be a sea change here. We cannot keep going down the same path. So as horse players, that was very good news. But I'd like you to speak to that a little bit because, you've been championing this cause for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense as a horse player. You want to play where the cost of a bet is the lowest and where the competition is the fairest. And, typically that means where the takeout is lower. And in terms of fairness competition, it's trying to compete with the teams. Ideally, you would want to play in pools where those teams are either kept out or they're throttled down, because you have a much better chance than if they're allowed to run wild. And absent that, if the best pools to play in are the ones that are less complex and have higher minimums, because the more complex and the lower the minimum, the more that those big CAW teams can batch all kinds of bets together and bet really precisely and just siphon all the value out in ways that humans can't play. So, if you're playing the 10-cent jackpot pick 6, even on a mandatory day, you're going to get killed by the teams, in the long run. You might get lucky and hit one, but you're not going to get as much as you should. And the value is just not going to be there. And all kinds of data supports that. So I go into this a lot in the book, but I mean, just to keep it really simple, the best thing to do is to play in the pools where they're not allowed to play at all, which there's just a few of those, like that Sunset pick 6 and a few other the late pick 5 or the pick 5 and the pick 6 at NYRA. They don't let them in all.
Yeah.
But they throttle them. By that I mean they don't allow them to batch wager in the win pool at 2 minutes to post, and then in the other pools at 1 minute to post. So that really reduces the ability for them to have that big advantage in getting the last look at the odds. They don't have that, so they can't bet nearly as much. They can't affect the odds late nearly as much, and you just have a much better chance. It's not a completely level playing field, but it's much better than playing in anywhere else. So what frustrates me, and I've been doing this for a long time, I've been trying to get players to play in the lower takeout pools, but they don't do it. They just continue to get beat up. They'll play the late pick 5 at Santa Anita. And now I don't want to diss Santa Anita.
Oh, you
but
it's expensive.
yeah, you could play the early pick 5 at 14%. And you can play the late pick 5 at like almost 24%. Why on earth would you play and into the 24% pool when you can play in the 14% pool? You know, it's crazy. But which pool
Sorry, Chris. I was at NHC and I talked to Jim. I was like, "Are you guys going to bring us some good low takeout?"
Talk about Jim Goodman, right?
Yeah, from Keelan. I was like, "You're going to bring us some low takeout bets for the upcoming meet?" And he's like, "You saw what they did," but then he ended up telling me, he's like, "These are supposedly the top players, horse players in the country." He's like, "I could walk around here."
Ciaran froze.
And 50% of them would not know what low takeout was or any of that stuff. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Yeah, they don't know any of this stuff."
Well, unfortunately, in some ways he's right. And that's why I created I created a sheet, and on social media, I try to make it available to people. It's available on my website, betwiththebestmedia.com. I have a takeout spreadsheet trying to educate players just to see how crazy it is within a track or across tracks and how much more you could be paying in some pools than you are in others. So, it just makes sense to target your wagers in those lower takeout pools. And in general, it's the simpler bets too, which it's a double advantage because those simpler bets, the CAWs don't have as big an advantage. They still, are going to siphon value, but you can structure a win bet as well as a CAW team. You can't structure a pick 6 the same way a CAW team can. So you're not at nearly the disadvantage in those simpler pools. So if you keep to the simpler pools with lower takeout, you're lowering that, what I call the hurdle to being successful. It doesn't make you successful. It just makes it a little bit easier. But even better than that nowadays, 10 years ago, I was more focused on helping people, move towards the lower takeout. But, now it's, whether the teams are, able to run wild or not is even bigger than the takeout. So, I don't understand why people would not want to play NYRA when they are trying to throttle the teams. They'd rather just beat their head against the wall, at other tracks that don't do anything or if you're playing at Santa Anita, why not focus on, the win pool where they throttle the CAW teams? And I applaud them for that because it has made a big difference since they've done that. Or the higher, the simple bets with the higher minimums and the lower takeout. That's even better because the higher the minimum, the less precise the CAW teams can bet. The lower the takeout, the less rebate they get. So they're less interested in those. That doesn't mean they're out of those pools. No. They're just not as active, and they're not as
they're terrible. Actually, we've been charting this from the jump.
We can see what they're doing.
We see what they're doing,
and we can see their hedge, and we go.
They have to be right.
On this one.
Chris, they have to be right. Their algos have to be right. In every other pool, their algos just have to balance the books and set the market that give them a favorable advantage. They are so wrong in these pools that you have the late pick 3 pool. Not only does it consistently pay more than the parlay, so it pays 200% sometimes. Like it's insane how good the late pick 3 bet is out here in Southern California. And I said they'll figure it out one day, but right now they have no clue because the $3 late pick 3 and the $5 late double. That's a lot of money they have to spend to cover the combinations that are going to balance their books. Because we've seen it at Churchill. They have the $3 late pick 3. They don't have the $5 late double. And it barely pays more than the minimum. Or sometimes it pays less. So they can manipulate that pool when it's all on its own. But if you anchor it with that $5 late double, it's a game changer. And I'm just shocked that more tracks haven't done it. While I applaud NYRA, I love what they're doing. And Ciaran and I are actually going to try to build a show around that pick 5 that you talked about, where the CAWs aren't allowed. I was a little curious as to why they didn't try to do one of these higher minimum low takeout wagers. Now, maybe they will for Saratoga. I don't know. But do you have an opinion on that? Like, do you think more tracks should be doing what Santa Anita and Del Mar are doing and what our whole show is built around?
Well, I think tracks should be doing a lot more experimentation with minimums. And I'm not going to tell them what to do, but I'd like to see them try things. Try a higher minimum. Maybe a higher minimum pick 4 and lower takeout. I definitely would like to see them go with lower takeout. But right now, I think the biggest thing is they've got to manage the CAW teams, and so that's why I'm, focused on NYRA. They're their only track that's really trying to do that in a serious way. And what worries me is just like takeout, players don't respond to it the way they should. Although what I tell track managers like Jim, and he understands this, I think, is, even if the players don't know that the higher takeout's hurting them, it means they're going to bet less because they are going to churn less, whether they know it or not. It's sort of that invisible hand that Adam Smith talks about. You're gonna go through your bankroll quicker. You're not going to roll it over as much, and you're not going to bet as much over time. So it hurts tracks whether they know it or not. It hurts players whether they know it or not. Now, it would be better if they're aware of it and they steer their handle towards the lower takeout pools. But even if they don't, it does matter. Even if they're not aware of it, it does matter. And that, that's always my response to them on that. But I mean, what I'm afraid of is if players act the same way about the CAW, at managing CAWs as they do with takeout, and they don't gravitate towards the pools and the tracks that are trying to manage those CAWs, then the tracks are just going to say, well, why should we bother?
Right,
I mean, if the players don't care, why should we care? And I'm saying I can't argue with that. So I'm trying to get the players to care, because I really think, like, if NYRA does this and this year they continue to lose handle,
right. They have
and
to
it's
see an
not.
uptick.
We don't see the retail players respond by going in and betting there more, then NYRA's going to stop doing it and no one's going to follow suit. But if we all say, hey, you know what, we're going to shift a lot of our handle to NYRA this summer and fall, and they have record handle and everybody else's handle's down, they've got to take notice, right? But it's up to the players. If we're going to be stubborn and say we don't care, or, I don't want to play NYRA because I don't like NYRA. Well, great, but stop complaining about CAWs and stop complaining,
Right. Unrelated exactas.
when the retail handle continues to crater and you're going to have nothing but the CAWs in the pools, and you have absolutely no chance.
Our handle, Chris,
Yeah,
Frank and I, has never been higher. I'm doing multiples of the handle I used to do just because of the low takeout bets. And we've talked about it on the show. Like today, that chalky chalk late double at Santa Anita covered my bets for today. And
a
it's
2 to 5
churn.
over an even money. The $5 double paid 21. The parlay paid
more than it should have.
14.
And it was a churn. And now I'm going to fire away next Friday.
Right, you have some money that if the takeout were lower, you'd have had less, right? Yeah.
Because last month on our show we came in and there was a horse. There was no way I was betting this horse. A $5 double paid $1,500, and I had ammo for the next month. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of these bets too. And then we get to turn it. Spend it all.
But my plea to players is, if you don't change your behavior and you keep playing the late pick 5 at Santa Anita, and you don't play, the high minimum low takeout bets, and you don't start betting some money at NYRA or in the win pool at Santa Anita, and you just keep playing all the pools you always have the same way you always have, then it's just going to continue to get worse. And it's up to players. If you don't change, nothing's going to change, and you really don't have any grounds to complain. But if you really want to improve, it's a win-win, because if you do this, I guarantee you will make more money long term. If you shift your betting to lower takeout pools, or lower takeout and high minimum, even better, or even better, the pools where the CAW teams aren't in the pools at all, or they're being managed to some extent, you're going to end up making more money than if you play in any other pool, and you're going to get a lot less frustrating late odds drops, or payouts that are way lower than you'd expect them to be. But it's a win-win. But if you don't, you're going to continue to have the same results. They're going to continue to get worse, because there's going to be less and less retail money in the pools, and eventually, it's just going to be computers playing against computers. And and players have to change though, or it's. And I really think if we don't do that in the next year or so, the ship has sailed. I'm
But
really
Chris,
concerned.
This is what's very frustrating to me and Ciaran. The players are there.
Yeah.
We have set handle records, all-time handle records in the late double pool.
I just
and the late pick
updated
three
it.
pool
I just
at
updated
Santa
it.
Anita.
Well,
While the
Chris-
late pick 4s and late pick 5s are going down, we'll run through the numbers and with you right now
I
compared
just
to last
updated
year.
it, Frank.
But hold
now,
on, Ciaran. Let me finish. We are reaching that audience, and they are showing up with their dollars. And we have all the data because we've been tracking it. These are the only pools that are on the ascendant, the only bright spot for horse players, and no one in the industry is talking about it. Santa Anita should take out a front page ad saying these are horse player friendlies, 80% growth in the pools. We welcome you. Come. Everyone is ignoring it. I almost think, to your point, they want these bets to fail. They want them to fail because it's a low takeout.
Yeah, I'm not sure about their motivation, but I agree with you. Even Naira, I mean, you would think that they'd be trumpeting the player-friendly, we throttle the CAWs, but it's like they almost don't want to acknowledge they exist and that they are a problem. And to me, that Naira should be marketing the heck out of that, and I'm marketing it more than they are. It's kind of sad.
That's why Ciaran and I are frustrated because we've gotten zero industry support, and the growth is insane. You want to run through the number? You have a minute? We'll run. We always do this at the end of every show.
Sure. I don't know if you're boring the other listeners, but I can't see the numbers. I'm on my phone, so you have to tell me what the numbers are.
We're going to say them because we do this every show, and believe it or not, our numbers go up after the races are over because this is a movement. We are educating people, and to your point, Chris, if these low takeout pools either stay static or don't grow, what is the incentive for tracks to keep them 15%? Make them 23% and let the CAWs feast on each other.
Yeah, I know people have said that. I know players, guys that say, if I were a track, I would make it 30% takeout, because the players, if they're not going to change, Now, but I would argue that if you did that, they're going to leave in droves, not immediately, but for the same reason. Their money is going to churn, so they're going to notice that their money doesn't even last a week. Before they could go a month. Now after a week, it's all gone. They might not understand why. They might just say it's those damn CAWs. Right. But it's the takeout and the CAWs and all that combined. They're churning less, and that whether you realize it or not, it's hitting your bottom line.
Well, my handle has been precipitous over the last 10 years,
Yep.
almost to like a trickle until these bets came along. And I am now wagering more. I am now churning more. I am winning more. And I am up to bat for more big scores than I have ever been in my life. And people are gravitating to that. The players are getting it on the West Coast. Whether the tracks are understanding it or the players on the East Coast are getting it, that's been a struggle for us. But we have seen so much growth out here that I don't know how Matt Hegarty isn't writing about this because this is a huge industry issue. We don't want praise or credit, but we
as of today's meet, Frank, 22 days for the Hollywood meet. The absolutely only growth on the pools at Santa Anita is the all turf, late double, late pick 3. They're up $1.9 million on those bets. And
that's great. And that's great. And hopefully that those kind of numbers somebody will notice. And what I'm hoping for is for players to consistently gravitate toward, if they would start shifting all their handle away from these complex, high takeout, CAW infested pools, stop betting into those and move it to the pools like you guys are talking about, but also just the win pool at Santa Anita or Del Mar. And also to Naira, where they're trying to manage stuff. Or, if you're a pick 5 player, stick to the what do they call it? Coast to coast pick 5 and the sunset pick 6, where they keep teams out. If you would start doing that and everyone would start doing that, then they can't ignore it because the teams will be in trouble because there's not going to be any money, any value to siphon out. And, the tracks will start seeing, hey, the retail players will come back if we make the game playable. But if we don't, if players don't change their behavior, it doesn't matter. It's never going to change. It's just going to keep getting worse. Because why should tracks, if they do something like this and they don't respond, why would they continue to do it? If NYRA keeps, not as retail players don't respond and don't backfill the handle they're losing from the teams, then why would they take the risk when they can make deals up front with these teams and guarantee the handle?
The joke we do all the time is, I think a lot of these anti-track posts, I won't even mention their name because I don't want to give them credit. I almost think they're just rage bait accounts with the amount of followers they have, that anything positive, there's never anything positive.
Down,
like Del Mar could come out and say, beers are going to be $5 on Fridays. And these accounts will come out and go, why aren't they $2?
Yeah. And I get it, because if you're a horse player, long-term horse player, we've been getting beaten up and disabused and disrespected. And every decision, it seems like, tracks make are the wrong ones. And I get all that. And there's a million things they could do to improve. And anything they do, it could get better. But, you have to take baby steps. And if you can't just sit back and complain and not be willing to change. When somebody actually does something, it's not perfect, but it's better. It's like your kid, you're teaching them something, you're trying to teach them how to play baseball. And if you beat them up because their swing's not perfect every time, you think they're going to want to come back and play? No, you got to give them some enforcement. When they improve a little bit, or they trying to do the right thing, you reinforce that. Well, when these tracks, like Del Mar and Santa Anita, put restrictions on the win pool, players got to respond. When NYRA's doing it, players got to respond. When they offer, a lower takeout, high minimum bet, you've got to respond. If you don't change your behavior and shift your handle, then they're going to take that as they don't care, and that's the frustrating part for me, is everybody wants to complain about it, but they're not willing to change because it's not, and their excuse is, well, what they're doing is not perfect. Well, of course it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but it's better, and it's never going to, and if you reinforce that, then they might do something more and it'll get even a little better. And if you reinforce that, and by the, at the end of the summer, your kid's knocking the ball out of the park. But if all you do is beat them up because they're not perfect from day one, they're going to quit the game, and they're never going to want to play baseball.
Well, that's the thing. Yes, do we wish the CAWs didn't exist? Of course. But what the options we have now are so much better than 3, 4, 5 years ago, where the CAWs were in every pool and they were sucking the value out of everything, and they were basically bankrupting horse players because not only did we have to beat the takeout, but we had to beat the CAWs who sucked all the value out. So, but Ciaran, you want to go over the numbers real quick? And Chris, if you have to go, we do this every show. So if you have to go, you don't have to stick around. But I think you might find these numbers a little bit enlightening, or maybe not. They might be down this today. I don't know. But
no, even with that crappy $3 pick 3, Frank, it paid $36 if I remember.
No, but let's look at the pools.
Oh, the
you pools.
Have
last year's number.
Yeah, the pools were.
So this year, the $5 double pool was 182,000.
It was 166 last year. It was up 10%.
The pick 3 this year, 297.
240 last year, up 57.
All right. The pick 5, 573.
Oh, I didn't look at the pick 5. I don't track that. I can tell you right now. Hang on.
No,
pick 5 is what?
I like to look at it because it's down, I bet.
Yeah. What was the pick 5? How much?
573.
698, 699 last year.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
The pools that are up are the ones that we do our show on, and the pick 5, which that should be $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, if they lowered the takeout, it probably could be, but those pools are down. Our pools are up. So the players are out there, Chris, but there are so many players who are reluctant to accept it. Like you said, like Dave Portnoy, if he's going to go back to NYRA and bet, great. Do it. Give him confidence. We have been trying to message to him and his team. Every time he plays, he complains about an underlaid exacta. Well, why are you playing pools that you know are going to produce underlays when you can play in pools that are going to produce overlays?
Yeah, and that's the. Yeah. But he's just an example of, I've met same frustration with all players. I mean, they all complain, but they don't change. Yeah. But I mean, so every player does too. But if you, to me, you have a right to complain. But if you're not willing to change, when somebody does something that improves it, and you don't reinforce that, then you don't have a right to complain, because all you're doing is complaining now. Because when somebody actually does something to make it better and you ignore it and don't reinforce it, then you've lost your right to complain, because now all you are is a whiner, right? Yeah, and I can't. I live in a no whine zone, and I can't handle whiners. If all they do is complain and they never do anything, they just complain. I can't handle that. My kids, I drive them nuts because I do not let them whine. And so, horse players, you're just whining if you're not willing to change.
Yeah, you're allowed to whine if you don't have options. But if you have options, you can't whine because they're out there. And Ciaran and I, from the jump, we're like, there are two ways to look at the CAW problem. Negative, negative, negative. And yeah, it is negative. And 5 years ago, we didn't have any options. But we choose to focus on the options that are available to us as retail players. And there are some very, very player-friendly bets out there. We need a lot more of them, don't get me wrong. But compared to where we were 3 years ago, I'd say we're moving in the right direction, albeit slowly. But the $3 late pick 3 and the $5 late double at 15%, even with the CAWs allowed in the pool, we still have an advantage. And it feels good to be a horse player again because we're winning.
Well, because you feel
big scores.
Right. You feel like now you can find and exploit an edge, which is what we all want to do as a horse player, where before you felt like it, that was just so hard to do.
The edge was gone.
At some point, I was like,
my name is California Pick 4.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
My handle is California Pick 4.
California Pick 4.
I made all my money on the Pick 4s. That's when they used to pay 3, 4. When you would get some long shots and you got a long shot to start the Pick 4 or one in the middle, you were like, oh my God, I'm going to get paid. Now they've got it 500 ways to Sunday, and you're like, how do I only get paid $50?
The 50-cent Pick 4 at 23% is the worst bet in racing. I'll tell you that right now. And that's coming from someone who wrote a column about it for Santa Anita for 15 years, and from Ciaran, California Pick 4.
Yeah, and I mean, in general, the more complex, the lower the minimum, assuming CAWs are allowed in the pool, those are the ones where there just isn't any value, that they are so good at, and they have such an edge, being able to look at the prices and
they're too efficient.
And be able to,
it makes a difference. They can cover every edge and we're going to lose 8%, but if a crazy horse wins, we're going to make more. If the chalk wins, 10%.
Or if they hammer the chalky combination, But we don't want to keep you much longer, Chris. Is there anything you want to bring up? Anything you want to talk about? Promote? Any topics? Anything?
Well, just promote my book, Betting on Horses. I go into all this stuff in detail, trying to help give you some ideas on how to think differently. And like Frank said, I really do think, Frank, by the time you were done editing my book, you were thinking differently about the game, right? Is that fair to say?
I had to have that mind shift because of the negative connotation that word has had amongst horse players for a very, very long time. 15, 20 years ago, if you mentioned to someone that you're into the horses, they'd look at you like you were crazy. Like, what? You're a gambler? Oh, wow. Like you were a lower level in society or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you're a low line.
Traps have done nothing to perpetuate anything different because they still treat us like crap.
But there's two book guys here, right? Oh my God, here we go.
Yes,
bring it on. Take this. A double knockout.
Okay.
So your son's an MMA fighter, right?
Yes, he is. He has a martial arts academy now. He trains. But yeah, he's been in the ring. He's choked guys out. Been
choked out.
Been choked out. He's also a Bronze Star for Valor Army captain. So he's a genuine hero. But anyway, don't get me talking about my kids or my grandkids. But anyway, back to the book. So I really my goal, that made me feel really good because I could tell you finally we're kind of getting what I was trying to hammer at, and I did see kind of that shift, and you stopped asking me the same questions that you were asking, or making the same comments that you had early on. I think, man, this is going to take a while if Frank, doesn't get this what I'm trying to do here. So, but he did, and I think the book turned out great. And a lot of that was thanks to some really good editing and help I had from some other people in designing the book and stuff.
That's original artwork right there.
That's my brother-in-law. Yeah, that the cover. And but inside it, I think that will get, if you read it, no matter where you're at, I think it might get you thinking differently, and there'll be things in there that can help you improve. And I don't ignore handicapping. There's a good segment of the book on how to analyze races from some of the best players there are. But what I try to make people realize is you can't just copy what they did, because that ship has sailed. Those edges are gone now. They're sort of baked in the price. It really helps you do a good job of predicting outcomes for races, but it's not going to get you that edge. You need to do your own original thinking, think differently to actually get an edge. You have to get the fundamentals down and be able to predict outcomes, but that's not enough. And that's what I really kind of hammer at in the book. So, I really recommend, if you're a horse player that really has the same kind of passion that we all have for the game, and you want to keep improving, you're not happy just where you're at. And even if you're doing well now, if you don't keep proving and looking for the next edge, you're going to fall behind. So, go to Bet with the Best Media, all one word, betwiththebestmedia.com. You can learn more about the book. You can order the book there and have it shipped right to your address. And also you get access to my takeout spreadsheet if you want to learn about takeouts.
That's awesome. Thank you for that, by the way.
And I've been doing that for a while, just because trying to educate players. It's been a little frustrating because I expected but I know a lot of people who do use it and benefited from it. But
we talk about it all the time on the show. Really, it's so useful for us because, like you said, if we're going to affect change, we have to show up in the pools where we have an advantage and that the tracks are giving us a low takeout.
Right, and it's relative. I get it. They would say, well, what do you mean, 15% is low takeout? Yeah, well, I'd love it to be lower, but it's still, relatively speaking, lower than you. Why would you want to play into 22% or 23% or 25% when you could play into a 15%? I'm not saying it wouldn't be nice to have it lower, but it's still a lot better than, the alternative. And that's the way you have to look at it.
I would say the argument where it's gotten to the point where Frank and I will reply to someone and then delete it.
Yeah,
and we talk about it. It's like, never argue with a fool. People can't tell the difference. It's the people hung up on the low minimum. Oh my God, I cannot
that's the other thing. We get a lot of pushback.
$5 double or this $3 pick three, and you find out these dudes spend like $80 on their ticket and they cover it every combination. It's like, dude, be a better handicapper.
I'm glad you brought that up here because I wanted to ask you about that, Chris. We actually get more pushback than I expected about the $3 minimum or the $5 minimum based on either the 50-cent dollar or $2. And early on, we tried to explain that it's the low takeout. It forces you to be a better handicapper, a better ticket constructor, but what do you think about that? Like, how would you respond to someone who said, oh, now it's too expensive to play a $3 pick three instead of a $1 pick three?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, to me, I use the analogy. It's like you're eating your vegetables. You might not think you like it, but it's good for you, and you'll be healthier if you do. It's the same way with the higher minimum. The lower minimum just encourages, and one of the things I talk about in the book is, your instincts your natural human instincts almost always lead you astray in gambling. It almost always leads you to want to do, the natural instinct is to reduce risk and, try to, everybody wants like insurance or, assurance that, and so they're spreading out because they don't want to lose, and that is just guarantees that you're losing your chance to make money long term. So those natural tendencies are to spread, and that's exactly the wrong way to gamble. And the higher minimums force you to spread less. Now, you don't like it because it makes you feel uncomfortable because your instinct is you want to spread and have a better chance of cashing.
Right.
But you've got to. That's one of the key things as a horse player is you have to learn to stop trying just to cash and focus more on making money long term, which almost always means you will cash less often, but you'll cash significantly more when you do hit, and long term. And so, but that's sort of like going from 101 horse player to 10, from 100 to 101. That is being able to understand the difference between just trying to pick winners and cash tickets, and actually identify value and exploit value and try to make money long term. That's the fundamental shift. And some people never ever, even they could play this game for 40 years and they never get past 100, right? They want to cash.
Like
and
our tickets, when we started doing them, like someone like Nick called us out, it will be the caveman, like the one ticket. And then as we did it, and we tried to explain to people, like, here's the first double won for me today, and the other ones went down the crapper. And we tried to explain to people, we're spreading different options and weighing them a little different. And maybe 2 out of the 3 will win and we'll come out ahead. We're trying to spread so we can end the day really up. And if one of our sure things, like I ended up, that first double paid for the day, but if Stronghold had gone down, I would have made my money as well on the other ones. I'm trying to explain that to a lot of gamblers. I thought it would be a lot easier, but then as Frank and I said, geez, that's how we used to bet for the longest time. It wasn't until we'd been, halfway through Del Mar that we started adjusting our tickets, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a show, we're giving out tickets, we're betting with our own money. Like, we were way too conservative. We were like,
because you want
even
right, and you're playing one of the problems with doing a show, or is that you want your listeners to go home happy and cash. So that makes you more conservative. It makes you you're sort of what Mark Kramer called betting with scared money. Then you don't want to lose because you say, well, I can handle losing, but I don't want everybody else to lose too. And so that's going to cut. Your natural tendency is going to be try to cash more often. So people, will leave the show having cashed. So, and what, the more complex the bet is, the more important that how you structure the tickets is. And so, like, when people say, oh, I'm going to play all in this pick 5, I always ask them, well, how many times would you bet all to win, all the horses in a race to win? And they say never. No one bets. Almost. I won't say nobody. There's probably somebody out, because you can win every once in a while. The long shot, the 100-to-1 shot comes in, and you make a profit on it. But typically, you don't bet all the horses in a race to win, right? It's kind of, most everybody would agree that's stupid. But when you're hitting the all button in the pick 5, you're betting on all the horses to win. Yeah, sure. It's the same thing. You're just doing it in one leg. And that's why I think a bet like the pick 5 is really bad for most people, because in order to give yourself any chance at all to win, any kind of coverage at all, it's going to cost, you're going to get, most players, it's kind of, if they're betting, I don't know, like say they bet $10 a race, to put together a pick 5 ticket, they're probably betting $50 or more. So it's like they want to cash because they don't want to bet $50 and lose it. So then they get real spready, right? And they say, well, I'll put another $10 in just so I don't lose it, or another 20. So it just really, again, plays to all those bad natural tendencies that we have.
He's not in the room today. Racing Downwind is usually in here, but this was family day for him. I saw him tweet about it. But a couple of weeks ago, he had a big price that he really liked. And he was like, well, I was going to do win money on it, but I was doing my pick 5. And I was like, if I really like this horse the way I really like this horse, I should bet it as my single in the pick 5. And that was his, remember he put that 32,000, I think it was, pick 5 win or something like that, hammering his conviction and not spreading around. He was like, chop.
Well, that was really good. But I agree, single in it, but you should bet it to win too. I mean, that it's insane. It's insane. If you have a 30-to-1 shot or whatever that you like a lot, the first thing you do is you bet it to win. Then if you want to, then you look for exactas or doubles, and then maybe the pick 3 or the pick 4 or the try or super. But one of the things that if you have a real, especially a horse at a fairly high price that you like a lot, the first thing to do is to bet it to win, and then build out from there. And that's the other thing I talk about a lot in the book is you want to do your analysis, and then you spend just as much time thinking about how you're going to bet it. You don't want to just say bet the same way every time. Like, I'm always going to play the late pick 5.
Yeah.
Or I'm always going to box 3 horses in the trifecta. Well, that's dumb, because some races you might like 3 horses, and some races you might love 1 horse, and
Right.
your opinion is different. You should be betting the race different. So you should always think about how to bet in a way that matches your opinion, and then decide how to bet it that way, rather than having a certain way you bet and always trying to force fit your opinion into that betting structure. That's the wrong way to do it. You should flip it over, figure out your opinion, and then figure out, okay, what bets make sense given my opinion of this race or this sequence of races. And that's the way to do it.
Chris, this has been phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming on. Wow, it's almost 6:30, so we're going to wrap it up.
Is anybody else listening, or are we just talking to each other, I guess? So,
no, our numbers keep going up.
More and more. Now I'm
Okay.
scared.
We can see
All right.
I don't know,
All right.
I don't know if I should have Mark Gelding review the book, Frank. I don't know. I'm scared now.
This is our intern right here, and then we'll let you go.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Frank,
Okay.
Frank created this one, not me.
No,
Alarmy's
Okay.
book, Betting on Horse Dollars. I think that dollars means horse shit. It's useless.
like I said,
Yeah.
if Ciaran's not giving you, if he's not giving you stick, that means he doesn't.
And the book's called Betting Horses, but the last S is a $sign. That's intentional, because I wanted to say this is really about betting and making money. It's not just sitting in your armchair looking at the form trying to figure out who's going to win. We're trying to figure out how to make money on our opinion.
That's what our whole show is about, and we're learning every day. So thank you so much for
Thanks, Chris.
talking about all these complicated issues. At Derby 1592 on X, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh,
And then
why don't we have everyone here, Frank?
betwithebestmedia.com.
We got to. We forgot. We got some money to give away. Well, I got to sign up for it, though, right?
Yeah, let's announce it, and then. But we'll let Chris. I'm going to take you
We'll
out
let
the
you go, Chris.
studio.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you so
Chris.
All right.
much.
Thanks,
Really
guys.
appreciate everything.
I got to find the little media thing. Yeah, so
Well, let's announce it, and then we'll do it next week. So
Yeah,
what is going on here?
So we've got $250 in free credit if you're a first express bet. If you've got an account with them, you got to go to our website, Low Takeout Bets, and sign up. Just stick your email in there, and it's going to send an email saying, "Are you sure you want to subscribe to these 2 clowns?" And then once you do that, I guess closing weekend, we'll pull 2 names out of the hat, and you'll each get $125 each. I mean, we were going back and forth. I wanted to give 5 people $50. Someone wanted to do 1 guy for $250. I guess, what do you guys think in the comments? Let us know. Frank seems to think 2. What do you think? You're still on the 2, right, Frank?
I'm thinking give the first person 200, and then the second place 50.
Okay.
But
We've got a
we'll
couple of
keep
shows.
promoting this. But Ciaran, what if you already have an Express Bet account? Are you still eligible for this, or do you have to sign up?
No, you have to have, if you have an Express, it's for Express Bet account holders. So if you've got an account with them, we're going to pick your name, and if your name gets picked, voila.
And what if you don't have an account with them?
Well, you probably should sign up, but I would say,
But don't
I
sign
would
up
say-
yet, because maybe we'll get you a bonus.
Yeah. if you win, then you sign up really quickly.
And we'll make sure we get you a good bonus. Like deposit X and get X back or whatever. But
Yes.
yeah, lots of good things happening here on the show. It's going to be a great summer. Thank you, DTL Crew. We appreciate you. That was fun playing Emerald. We'll probably do it again. And Ciaran, I'll let you take us away, but you got to get this stuff down on the screen first.
Oh, hang on. We're probably going to do a Naira show this week.
The
Correct.
pick 5. CAW not allowed.
It's just a
But
matter
yeah, go to
of the day.
lowtakeoutbets.com.
We'll either do Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know yet. We've got to arm wrestle over which day we do.
I'm probably going to vote Thursday because Wednesday is New York State Bread Day, and do not like betting on New York State breads.
It'll also depend on the time because the son's graduating from high school, so it all depends on the
congratulations.
time. But we will
go to low-takeoutbets.com. We'll put up our schedule for next week. Thank you, DTL Crew. That was fun.
Yeah.
I need a wallet already on life support. They hit me with that low takeout. Now I'm feeling kind of sport. Bro, that's basically free money. I'm about to turn $11 into a yacht by Monday. Low takeout best. Cha-ching. Double trouble. I'm doing this thing. My pocket's doing the running, man. Low takeout best. What? Bookies crying in the can. Low takeout baby. 3 straight lawns. If this thing hits, I'm buying the whole damn barn. Grass to grass. No dirt in my life. I'm so all turf. I might start photosynthesize. Santa Anita, low takeout got me acting unwise. Told my wife, babe, I'm rich. Now she want alimony twice. Double trouble on the mic. We causing a scene. Low takeout was all turf. For retirement dream. If we hit this pick 3, tell the valet keep the change. We're reading lobster tonight on a $12 range. Boom. Thank you, Santa Anita. Good night.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like and subscribe to Double Trouble Live on YouTube. Get out, get up, get paid.